Welcome to Divide and Conquer. This is the our Tyranny of Dragons campaign. I currently have a dog with me because I'm home for the holidays. So that's why everything feels different. And whoa, there's somebody on another screen that's usually not on another screen because she's usually looking over my shoulder.
Hello. No, I don't.
Although right now we can't really see you, we just see a mirror.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't help the fact that this mattress is shit and I'm having to, like, sink into it.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Hi, guys.
I didn't want to insult your mattress, I'm sorry.
Insult the mattress. It's a crap mattress. It's fine.
It is a crap mattress. Insult it as much as you want. Well, Batten, I also have a new computer that I'm trying to figure out how to use.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everyone. We're like a day, literally a day away, 2 days away from 2020, which may your crits be amazing in 2020.
Yeah, I think
You're right.
This is our last game of the year.
It is.
It's not a t-shirt. It's not. And speaking of t-shirts,
What is that? Is that a raging shirt?
Oh wait!
What is that? That's another amazing shirt.
Hey.
I know where we can get these amazing shirts that both have West on it and both raging. Because best friends wear each other's art.
Yes, it's in the contract.
Yes, it is. I had to sign it in blood.
Yes. The blood pact.
The blood pact.
Blood pact.
So you can find both of the shirts. Bonus Action Rage shirt, amazing art done by Lynn herself, and then the I don't remember what the hell I called that one, but I think I just called that one Rage or Pact or whatever. I don't know. Control. That might be it. You can also find, we have our merch store on TeePublic, which you can find down below on if you scroll down on our Twitch profile. And also, if you scroll down on our Twitch profile, since I'm already talking a lot, we have a link to a webcomic that we're working on. I'm writing, Lynn's drawing, and that is for, what's that called again? Alistair.
Yeah. Oh, and guess what? It features this boy.
Oh yeah, it features that boy too. We're doing great, guys.
There was a split second where no one said the word Alistair. I'm like, did you guys forget? Like,
I don't remember the name of it anymore.
It's not like you guys are both working on that comic.
Yeah, it's a webcomic called Alistair. I don't remember who the main character is, though.
It's West, right?
Yes.
That makes sense. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be West, obviously.
Obviously, it's West.
Obviously.
Yeah, so it's the Paladin Alistair and Barbarian West going on righteous adventures.
Righteous.
Righteous.
I'm pretty excited for that, to be honest.
Can you stop making noises every time I'm talking? That's very rude, dog.
I'm sorry.
I thought you were talking to Jesus. I was like, oh my god.
I'll just mute. I'm sorry.
And now he's... Okay, fine. Well, make sure you're unmuted when you're doing important box talks.
Yeah, the joke there that the audio listeners couldn't see is that I muted myself.
Yes.
Please don't do that. Don't make an amazing speech where no one's going to hear it.
That was so sad.
It was.
We'll never get that.
You can't because it was recorded, and that's how it was recorded without the audio. So that sucks. In every shape and form, that sucks.
Yep, that sucks. Them's the breaks.
Oh, breaks.
Stop talking, dog. It's very rude. What else do we talk about on here? We got webcomic. We've got
our friends at Talon and Claw who make amazing. Look at this nice. I can't tell them because it's gonna fall. But they have a nice dice trays, and they have the Council of 7 dice bolts holders, and then they have a double one like that one with the burn. They have DM screens, and if you use the code Divine Conquer, get 10% off, which is amazing.
10% off. That's so cool.
Yeah. You get it. If you're in the season for shopping for Christmas, get it now, and then give it out during Christmas. See?
Or since Christmas is over, buy it for yourself,
and then buy another one for Christmas
yourself.
next year.
Yes,
Treat
exactly.
Before you reach your.
Because it's the season of giving, and it's important to give yourself.
It's very important to give to yourself.
Self-care.
But as we are getting super off track now.
Super off. We are always off track. Are we ever on a track?
Nope.
Depends if the DM wants us to be on one, I guess.
The DM barely
Last
can see the
session-
tracks. It's fine.
Last session proved we do not
The
stay on
DM
track.
is putting the tracks down as we go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That is correct. That is very correct.
That makes a lot
Oh
of
god.
sense.
So, I guess we'll just scroll through with introductions. And hi, I'm Vic. I'm your DM for tonight. And I'm gonna let that girl introduce herself by herself because she's got her own screen now.
Hey guys, I'm Tabatha. I will be playing Janva, Vohntree, the Drow War Cleric.
Jesus.
Hi guys, I am trying not to bark like a dog, but I will be playing Foxy. He's a Tortle Druid, and he's a grumpy old man.
I mean, you're allowed to bark like a dog because you're a druid and you can wild shape.
Dogs are not allowed in Baldur's Gate, though.
Since when does Fox care about the rules?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
You ran around as a giant wildcat last week, like
I know.
Giant cats are fine, but dogs.
Yeah. Or
Dogs.
hooved animals, right? You can't have any
I
like,
know.
horses.
Yeah, no herd animals. Dog's very mad about it.
Nope, he's not about it. Champ doesn't
He's
like
not
that
even
rule.
like it. And then we have a zesty wizard.
Yeah, that's me. I play Greyson, the zesty noble wizard, and get your water ready.
Hydration is needed.
Hydration is key.
Hydration is key.
Hydration is very key. And sadly, we will not have our Birdurai because he is currently in the Philippines enjoying time with his family.
Yeah.
He loves it more than us.
Glad that he's doing that because he needs.
Yeah, very glad he is.
Yeah, he needs to be with his family.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He's with his family, and he's always sending us pictures of nice beaches that we're not at. It's great.
Yeah. Yep. So cool. So cool of him.
And then Ophelia and Yuliy will be joining us a little bit later because they're running behind as per the norm because work sucks. So they will be with us, and other than that, I think we're ready to party.
Ooh, let's play that mother effing intro.
That mother effing intro. And we're back. Okay, so let me get us rolling on our music. That's
Musicale.
music. There we go. I hope the audio works out. I apologize, I don't have my separate mic with me.
I mean, it sounds good on our end.
Okay, I mean, that's fine.
Hopefully the audience also gets it.
Oh god, I really hope it sounds okay for everyone else. It just, Okay, so, last time. A lot of things happened.
no shit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
guys
they
want to
did.
talk about that?
Fox, you want to talk about that?
Well, let's see. Am I getting an echo? Who's doing that? Okay, all right. Got it. Just as long as I was like, oh no, I'm echoing. So, let's break down what happened last time. So, currently, it is now the 6th day of your stay in Baldur's Gate.
Mm-hmm.
6th day leading up to the banquet that is going to be held in your honor by Lady Eleanor Zareen. And it was on the morning, the early 3 a.m. morning of that 6th day, that Janva, you had a vision. And that vision led into a scenario that you heard Lady Eleanor scream from her room. You all ran to her aid as fast as you could, or as fast as you wanted to.
Some didn't even wake up.
There was a break-in to the manor. And after snooping around a bit of investigation, don't die.
Sorry.
Please don't die. If you need to mute yourself and destroy your lung, that's fine.
I'm attempting that.
Okay. Speaking of lungs, Jesus, are you still with us?
Yeah, I am. My lungs are not working, but I'm here.
Oh God. Okay. So yeah, you discovered there was a break-in. After some snooping done by Birdurai, some snooping done by Janva, definitely no snooping done by Ophelia, as she was bundled up in her room and trying to avoid everything. Greyson, you checked the library. Fox, you kind of gave a little bit of a look around. You discovered that the break-in was caused by a member of the cult when you came away with a piece of purple fabric that is recognizable from their uniform. You interviewed with Eleanor, trying to figure out what all had happened, but she had been very dodgy at best. And then it was with Fox, you decided to cast that genius detect magic that you discovered there was good reason for her to be dodgy, as she herself was actually an illusion spell. And when that illusion was dispelled, you found that it was Resmir, one of the worm speakers of the cult, in her stead.
My boss.
Janva's boss, if anyone wants to remember that.
Lovely.
And so it was under very intense interrogation done by Fox and Greyson that you came away with a little bit of information. Most of it being what you already knew, what they're trying to accomplish. Mostly Resmir was just trying to take Lady Eleanor's place to try and what was the word? I guess essentially cut Janva off from the rest of the party. That was initially her plan. And luckily you stopped it before things could get too out of hand. And in the end, ultimately, you killed her. Between Fox, Birdurai, and Yuliy, you all worked together. You decapitated her, and her body crumbled away into dust. But before she essentially died, Greyson, she left you with a bit of troubling information, and that being of your supposed twin sister, and now a grandson of your mother's that is currently within the cult's circle. And so, having spent the rest of the morning decompressing, since everything happened within the span of just a few short hours, it is the day of the party. And now, depending on what it is you're doing, whether it's getting ready for the day or just trying to ride out the adrenaline from the early morning, or there's a dog clawing at your door. It is now, I'm going to say, depending on what you want to do, about early morning of the 6th day, the day of the banquet. Lady Eleanor herself is staying within Ophelia's room as she's taking care of her. What will the rest of you all be doing?
Fox is asleep.
Sure.
Because he needs to be ready. So he's probably asleep still by the water. And
Alright, so sleeping by the pond. I'm going to assume Yuliy is kind of in the same area, just hanging out by the pond. Birdurai, I believe he said he would be checking around the perimeter and just keeping an eye on the manor in general.
Janva's gonna take her full rest and decompress too.
Fair.
That was a lot. That was a lot that happened.
Yeah, that's fair. Greyson, anything in particular you're doing?
He is going to... Well, how many hours until the party?
The party, I will say, is going to start at 7. It's
And
about,
what time is it now?
I'm going to say about 10 a.m.
Just enough time. He's going to get ready.
Oh my god.
Now he's probably gonna like wash up, and then it'll take at least 2 hours for each boot.
Yes.
So he's gonna be doing that all day, like at his leisure.
fair, very fair.
If upon request, you will have a wash basin brought up to you with fresh hot water, soaps, oils, everything you need.
Yes. Sounds divine.
Well, before the threat, Janva wasn't so much of the idea of having her rapier on her, but now she's kind of wishing the outfit she picked out, she could do something like that, but she'll still forego wearing her armor and her weapon.
Okay.
She is going to keep that wand of Warcaster on her though for the party.
All right, fair enough.
Probably ask Greyson for an idea of like should I just keep it up my sleeve or?
Well, Greyson is currently getting ready in his room, so if you wish to go to his room,
For the love of God,
yeah, watch
Doc.
him trying to put that. Do what?
please knock.
I said-
Is the
Yeah,
phrase.
please knock.
Oh, she would. She's not going to just barge in.
She's not the other cleric.
Yeah, she's not Ophelia.
Oh, Dave.
All right, so Janva, you go knock on Greyson's door.
Yeah, just
You answer.
He'll answer. He'll be fine. What?
yeah. Just Janva kind of like standing there holding the wand in between her fingers, just like. So I'm not going into this party without a weapon on me.
Right.
Any ideas on how I should do this?
You said it's
Should
a
I
wand?
just keep it up? Yeah, just keep it up my sleeve, or
He takes the wand, and he's gonna spin Janva around and tuck it in the back of her pant. And then pull her shirt over it.
He does that.
okay, fair enough.
It's not on your front person, no one can see it, and if you need to, you can just easily reach and grab it.
Stupid me. Probably should have thought. But you know, everything that
I know
happened
my
today,
way.
this morning.
That's fair. I know my way around wands.
And then she'd be like, "Are you okay?"
Oh, I'm great. Everything's great. Everything's peachy. I'm great. How are you?
For the sake of entertainment, how at what stage of readiness is Greyson?
He has pants on. So
Janva's just gonna be like, "Okay, I'll ask you again. How are you okay?"
I'm fine. It's fine. Are you okay? That's the more important question.
Janva, do I look okay?
You want a
No.
little
just-
insight?
Say like her hair's kind of a mess at this point. Like she hasn't even barely begun to get ready.
Come inside.
Oh. Do you go in?
Yes.
Greyson shuts the door.
Okay.
Do you know what you're wearing?
At this point, it's... Well, not her armor. Probably whatever nightgown she would have probably been given from Eleanor.
Oh, God. Okay. He's gonna take the time and kind of, like, put together something and, like, do the hair and stuff and just kind of idly chit-chat while he does so.
Okay. Alright, and I'm gonna say within, like, the next 20 or so minutes, you will hear the door to Ophelia's room open as Eleanor gets up, and she's going to go to her room. You hear that door close, you hear that door open again. She goes back into Ophelia's room. Another 5 or so minutes pass, and then the door opens and she heads downstairs.
This is a very loud house.
It's drafty. Which, Fox, how long are you sleeping?
And whatever the DM decides for me to get a full rest. Because I went to sleep, woke up really early, and used up all my spells. So, Grandpa.
I'm gonna say 5 a.m. was when initially the whole confrontation ended, and everybody went their separate ways to digest that.
1 or 2 is probably when I'll wake up then.
So 1 or 2, okay.
So if it's still 10ish, then I'm probably still asleep.
Yeah, so Fox is still asleep outside. Okay. So, for the most part, depending on whenever Greyson finishes with Janva, at any point that you're going downstairs, you will see that there will be a bit of busyness happening in the manor. Servants kind of walking in and out, carrying crates of food and decoration and some changes of clothes and this and that as they're getting ready for the night. And Eleanor herself is kind of busying herself between the dining room, the kitchen, the backyard. That doesn't exist. The gardens. What's a backyard? That's not historically accurate.
Don't even talk to me about that, Vic.
Counting 11s? We won't talk about that. As, which, if I recall... Let me look at the spread. Oh, no, Grayson's room is the only room that doesn't have a window. Okay.
Who needs sunlight?
That's fair.
That's not needed.
Maybe I should change the
We need to
audio.
keep the skin as wrinkle-free as possible.
All right. So, yeah, so depending on whenever you are all getting ready, when you're finished, Fox, I would say about 1 o'clock, yeah, you get up, you're moving around. You see Birdurai just kind of keeping an eye out as he's looking in the gardens. You see, around this time, you will see some of the city guard coming in into the estate as Eleanor is speaking with them.
Okay.
And she's just... I'm going to say, here, let me put you a visual. Yes. Let me get you a visual.
Yay, visuals.
Those are fun.
Woo! Love visual aids.
Hold on. Excuse me while I have to scoot everything over.
That's a bird boy.
The bird boy. Okay, there we go.
Ooh, nice garden. That looks pretty.
Yeah. So that's your gardens.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Look,
there
are
you
those
go.
ducks? Or are those fish?
Ducks.
What are those? Yeah.
Those are ducks.
Quack quacks.
Yeah, little quack quacks.
Oh, quackers.
Let me get you. Put you about right here. Well, you're actually in the water.
preferably.
And then I'm going to say right where these guards are standing. This is essentially set up for the party, but
Okay.
right where these guys are standing is where you'll see Eleanor talking with a handful of guards as she's just kind of animated, talking with them using her hands and just kind of like pointing out areas. And then you'll see her kind of like point around to where the garden leads up, but like by the window at where it was initially broken.
Okay. I'm gonna stay in the pond for a little bit and just look at the guards and observe, as none of them woke me up when I was sleeping.
Yeah.
Just get a read from them, and then probably after like 10 minutes of being weird, I'm gonna get up and go to a room, not drying myself, but just walk in the house completely wet, and then put clothes on. The fancy clothes that I was told to put on.
Fancy clothes, okay.
Aw.
Fancy clothes that have been specially tailored for you.
Yeah, that don't seem to quite fit just yet.
Which I should put
At least
that
the
on.
pants region.
Yeah.
There we go. That's
Oh,
fun.
You know, look, you know.
Yes.
Look at that little fox boy.
Yeah, look at that little boy.
He's so
Oh
cute.
my god.
You look like a Beatrix Potter character.
Yeah.
Make a whole nursery rhyme off of Roxy Fox.
Yeah.
That is so cute.
He's adorable.
So 10 minutes of looking at the guards as all they see when they kind of look in the direction of the pond is just this very large turtle, just about this level, like where the water's just like just below the eyes, just staring at them for a very uncomfortable amount of time. Which they don't. They won't. You would assume out of politeness, not say anything or do anything. But just
Social customs are weird. Yes.
social customs are weird. Just kind of keep up conversation with Eleanor, and you'll start to see, kind of like as you're walking, there will be a few of them inside as well as they're kind of learning the interior and just kind of, I guess, discussing like what security routes they want to take for this party.
I'm gonna eavesdrop on them as if they're talking out loud. Just
Which they would be, yeah.
Right up to them.
Can I help you?
I'm just listening to what you gotta say.
We're just
How are you gonna protect them?
well, we are setting up just general routes to keep during the party. We'll make sure there's no unwelcome guests.
Let me think about the words I want to use. How good are you at seeing through magic?
I am not very versed with magic, no.
Well, then get someone who is.
Are you someone who's versed with magic?
Yeah, but I'm gonna be doing other shit, so go get someone who's good at it.
Noted.
Alright. Good talking to you. I'm gonna pat him on the back and look.
Yeah, as he kind of is pushed a little bit at the sensation of your claws against him.
And as I'm gonna go upstairs to my room and get all fancied up, I'm also going to redistribute my spells.
Okay, fair enough.
To be maybe a little bit more defensive than I would usually be.
Alright. Okay, so as the hours go by in the day, as I get everything ready, I'm going to swap this over. No. Sure, why not? Let's just throw that there real quick.
Ooh, look at that nice Janva.
Look at that Janva.
Yeah.
They look fancy.
Right there. Okay, that works. Okay. Yelling.
Don't mind me as I make noises, I'm just looking at spells.
I'm always making noises. You're alright. I believe this was the one I wanted. Or was no? I think it was this one. I can't remember. It's kind of fancy-ish. So as the hours kind of tick away during the day, Ophelia is gussing up, getting ready. You don't hear much from her, shockingly. Almost worryingly so.
Mm-hmm.
As if you ask where she's at, Yuliy will just give a
Jeez.
It's like, I don't know, in her room. As he is now taking up residence at the bar in the dining nook that's being put out for the guests.
Yuliy doesn't make enough for the bar.
That's what he's
no.
got at the bar.
Oh my gosh.
That's sad. No.
He needs his happy juice.
He needs his living juice.
Right. So as you are all starting to convene downstairs for the party, as guests are filing in, all very eloquently dressed, as Eleanor herself is standing in the main foyer, just kind of getting herself ready, checking the girls are right, good, okay, my hair's fine. As she looks to you and to you, Janva, as you come downstairs once you are finished getting ready. Just not gonna lie. Is it kind of unsavory of me if I say that I kind of want to throw up?
No, that was me this morning.
Okay, that was me this morning too. He just confirmed he doesn't get paid enough. Thank you. Trying to get all my notes together. They're on right now. It's like, yeah, which I can't, oh my gosh, I can't thank you enough again for, I don't even want to think about it, to be honest. That was a lot.
Well, the only advice I could give right now is if anybody that you don't know approaches you, don't find yourself. Don't follow them. Don't keep around people that you know, like us.
Right, that sounds pretty smart. Well, I double checked the guest list. I do happen to know a good many of these people, and most excitingly, I have a nephew that's coming in. He wrote me when he came into town, and he's going to be joining us for dinner tonight.
Nephew?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I lost my words. Yeah, he's been writing me for a while now. He just recently left the Underdark, and I'm so excited to show him off. Well, I'm going to say nephew in the sense we came from the same house and what have you.
Interesting.
Yeah. Isn't that something? So,
I mean, it is Janva, but it's understandable and nice to get away from there.
oh, I greatly agree. That is not a fun place to be.
Mm-mm.
Greyson, are you downstairs and ready at this point, or are you still final touches?
Final touches for sure.
Final touches.
You gotta get the eyeliner just right.
That's right. Just got to make sure it's got that nice edge to it.
You can cut a knife with it.
Yeah. And Fox, where would you be during this?
I would be, as I finalize my spell list, I am going to, first of all, since I don't have one, let me look at my inventory.
All right, fair enough.
I'm going to poke around at the guards and try my best not to bother any of the quote-unquote help or anyone that's working, and bother people that are, in my opinion, being lazy. And
I'm gonna say for the benefit of having stayed a week, you know each help by face now, and what you do know who everyone looks like that actually should be there.
Whoever I assume would be best at this, probably someone in the garden. I'm gonna go like, I need 25 feet of rope. It has to be specifically 25 because that's how I was taught to do this.
Okay. as the main gardener for the grounds would be a little halfling gentleman, and it's just like, oh right, sure thing, Mr. Fox, of course, and he'll go to the shed and try to find exactly 25 feet of rope for you.
Thank you. That's the only spell component I need right now. Alright, I'm gonna thank him very much.
Yep, it will come back in a few minutes with your exactly 25 feet of rope.
Thank you.
Yeah, the little halfling boy, it's like, yep, right here, exactly 25 feet. I measured it out myself.
Right, that's good. Great, I need it. Oh, I hate myself.
Oh, no.
Alright, and then I guess I'm gonna go...
component, or is this another component?
One more time?
It's like, is this actually a spell component, or is it a component for something
It's a
else?
spell... I mean, for Fox, it's a spell component. For Jesus, that's to be determined. Yeah, 25 feet of rope, which will be consumed with the spell. So,
Okay.
I have that prepared if I need to.
All right.
Oh fuck! I need another second level spell. I'm going to awkwardly stare out into the blankness as Fox thinks about another spell to prepare that day. However many minutes it thinks.
Just stares at the horizon.
just muttering. Mm-hmm.
Young gardener, just like, oh, he's so wise as he goes back to his work.
So wise and noble.
Oh god. So
You know,
oh, I already have that one. Oh fuck! What other spell should I get? Ah damn! Ah crap! I guess. I guess I'll have an attack spell.
all right, so I will go ahead and read out what I wrote here. So the estate itself is now decked top to bottom for this small banquet.
Small.
Small, just a little small. As small as it gets for nobles. The main hall has been polished to an almost unnatural shine. New carpet has been rolled out and laid down. Servants are kind of stationed in areas with drinks and little hors d'oeuvres and what have you. So whenever you're, speaking and you happen to hold your hand out, you're going to find a glass in your hand now. Which, Janva, this is a very interesting practice that you are witnessing. Whereas for someone like Greyson, it would almost be just muscle memory.
It's like magic, just pull it out of thin air.
Yeah.
I feel like while they would have been while getting ready and Janva would have been talking with Greyson, one of the things that she would be asking, it's like, okay, so in Drow society, I was kind of usually with the servants' quarters and stuff on this. So I'm
poor thing.
really bad at... Is this normal? Just while she's holding her glass?
Oh.
Yes, it's essentially normal. Yes.
Okay.
It's don't worry about it. It's just act like you're supposed to be here. That's the trick.
I will go into the kitchen.
Okay.
As soon as I'm done.
The buff really finally finishes.
My internet speed is not as good as you young folks.
Oh god, he's still on dial-up.
Yeah, someone answer the phone.
Get off the internet. I'm trying to make a call.
I'm going to. How is the food displayed in the?
So the food itself, you will see that the kitchen staff, they'll mostly be prepping and the trying to think of the words. The tiny little the finger foods, the hors d'oeuvres, those are being prepped on a separate island, and they're easily just done, put on a tray, and taken out into the main house. Whereas the actual dinner is still being cooked at the moment.
All right, I'm gonna wait.
It's gonna be a lot of seafood.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to the head chef.
All right.
And I'm going to look at them, whomever they are, for a while in a very intimidating fashion. I don't really want to roll intimidation, but just like awkwardly the 450-pound Tortle. And I want to kind of get a little bit of read from them if I can. Just like, are they being nervous? Are they like slipping up, or like is anything out of order with the chef?
Roll me insight, and while you do that, I'm gonna. I guess I'm gonna refresh because I can't. I don't have to refresh because I now see Stephanie.
The insight total is going to be 10.
Insight 10. Okay, yeah. Everything is as it should be in the kitchen.
Okay, I'm gonna lean into them and be like, right, whenever you're preparing the main course, let me know. Put everything together in a very small, confined space so I can purify the food. Make sure there's no poison.
Right, that's very smart, of course. Sure.
Alright, bye. I'm gonna walk away.
Okay. Okay. I kind of see a Stephanie.
Yeah, it's like it buffered right up to her mouth, and then everything else is just the eighth.
About this much of Ophelia is ready to go. For the party.
Oh no, is Ophelia still buffering too? Oh no.
She's just sitting in the room, and there's just like a dial-up just above her head.
A little.
Baldur's Gate needs to invest into the new Wi-Fi systems.
Yes.
Hey, Fox, I have a question.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you were to purify and take out all the poisons with alcohol, would that render it just water?
No. It would still... Alcohol is not an intoxicating thing to prevent you from living. It just fucks you up.
I've known some people that I beg to differ, but I'll trust you.
Alright, well... I think technically...
Many a knight at the Tataric estate could say otherwise.
Technically, I guess it just depends on what your dungeon master wants to do when you remove poison from something.
I would say remove poison as in removing a foreign object from something that
removes poison and disease. So
yes,
and since
something that shouldn't be there being removed from.
Since poison in 5th edition is really weird, there's capital P and lowercase p, which I still haven't figured out if it's a poison condition or poison like damage
element
modifier. So yeah, so it's 5th edition, so it's vague for a reason and it's up to the DM.
If Wizards wants to clarify that for us, that'd be great. We love your modules. So.
No, you should still get fucked up.
Yes.
Right on.
Alright, and I'm going to assume that Ophelia is still getting ready. That she is buffering.
I assume that she came out. No, that goes back in.
It's like,
and Yuliy standing at the door, just like this is like the 3rd time she's done this. She
walks out into the hallway, looks around. Yuliy! Nothing. Fine. And then she just goes back in. And I'll put my shoes on myself. So, I will say it is nearing close to party time. You will see one of the head. Don't want to say butler. That's not the right word, but help. Yeah, I don't like saying help either.
It's the name.
Yeah,
servant.
It's a complicated word. Hired
the
person. Caterer. Sure. No, that's not it. Caterers in the kitchen. No. The person that is hired to do this.
Yeah, there you go.
The employee.
The employee. Personal staff, sure. I guess. You'll see essentially the person who kind of runs the rest of the people in the house kind of takes position at the front entrance as they're kind of going through the list of attendees, which it's nearing about 7 o'clock. Birdurai has come inside and he's just kind of looking at some of the guards. He'll kind of like talk to some of the guards, and there will be like a short conversation there as they're just like, we're doing as we're told. This is how it is, and for some reason that answer's just not good enough for him. So, got it. Is what was said. Okay. And Greyson, are you ready?
Yes.
She opens the door to his room and it's just ready.
It's me. The party has arrived.
As Yuliy, Janva, Box, Greyson has arrived. As Janva, you would be speaking, mostly hanging around with Eleanor as you're kind of talking and chatting idly to yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
As I suppose I should get pictures up of everyone.
Yes.
Fancy
Show off
that.
everybody's beautiful outfits.
So we got this sassy girl, Janva, as she's currently conversing with Lady Eleanor.
So, for our audio listeners, DM, do you want to describe a little bit what they look like?
I kind of want my players to describe what they're wearing, because that's always fun.
Please, players do for our audio listeners.
Well, normally Janva does have one side of her head shaved, but what hair she does have is gathered up in the top and in a nice little poofy top knot. Elegant. She is wearing the color I would describe, well, aside from a dark red, but almost like red wine colored, help, I'm really bad at describing outfits.
So you are essentially wearing a red, kind of like a deep scarlet red,
like a burgundy.
Kind of. It's a red. It's a color of red. Kind of a red evening jacket with long coattails behind you. You have your kind of satin black pants, some nice polished riding boots that are also black, and then you have a kind of a bluish half cape that you wear off of one shoulder with a nice little lacy cravat on your neck.
Cravat. That was the thing I was having a hard time remembering the name of. And then, of course, as Greyson helped her with figuring out her wand of Warcaster is in her back.
Oh, and I'm going to assume that Ophelia and Greyson are ready at the same time.
Yeah.
We both exit, like, yeah.
You both exit at the same time from your rooms. So we will get to Ophelia.
Ew.
Really?
Aw.
Fifi, who are you wearing?
It's some underground designer that no one knows but me. I have this kind of like flow. It's like a two-piece, like a midriff kind of. I have this top that's kind of fitted, but also on top of it's kind of ruffled towards off the shoulder. And then my skirt is kind of like really, really flowy and really, really good at twirling, which I do every time I have a chance of doing.
Would you say that your skirt is
it's all a mermaid skirt?
It's a mermaid cut.
And it's all white because I want to show off my nice skin and my nice beachy waves that I have my hair in. And I have my little bougie beachy waves.
Okay.
And then I have my
bougie.
Lucky Charm, my little single pearl necklace, and then I have my bag of holding with me with all my little goodies.
Yep.
Becca.
Yeah, her tiny little bag of holding.
And then Yuliy is texting somebody.
Yuliy, what you wearing?
He's wearing the face of "It's finished and I'm over it."
He's wearing the face of hourly pay.
Of annoyance.
So,
He has like this like he's black on black on black on black to make himself look really cooler than he is. These really black, like shiny boots that probably squeak, but I don't know. This like jacket that looks tailored and cinched with, and then a vest that has 3 buttons, and then there's like a red tie.
Very edgy.
The keyword's edgy.
Very edgy, very sleek, very
cool.
suave.
That's what he looks like.
All right. As Ophelia, you exit your room at the same time as Greyson does. So let us get over here. Greyson.
Boy. Yeah.
What are you wearing?
Ugh, what isn't he wearing? So he is currently sporting a kind of darkish purple jacket with some coattails that end at his mid-thigh. He's got some golden buttons that go down his front. The white parts of his hair are actually tied up in a little ponytail, which is usually what he does for fancy events. He has his family ring on his left hand, on his middle finger, and he is also wearing thigh-high boots that go all the way up, and they are... What are the things on the sides? Are they like just straps that strap up to his waist?
Almost kind of like
right?
like garters in a way.
Yeah,
Like,
that's how
it looks to me.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure they went all the way up. You will not be shown.
And they're healed to make him even taller. Because I have a problem, apparently.
He is now.
What you're contemplating for?
Instead of standing at 6'1", he is now standing at about 6'3".
Sounds about right.
Lovely.
So, right. And now that we are all convening downstairs to...
What about Fox?
I'm getting there. Fox, what are you wearing, bud?
Fox has this like really tattered, sewn on badly like jacket. I ripped the shirt that was supposed to go underneath, so I just threw it on the floor. My pants are being held by some suspenders because my tail doesn't want to cooperate. I do have this like balling kick-ass bowler hat and a pink tie to match. He's muy kawaii.
Muy kawaii. I just want to imagine that this jacket is made of tweed too, just to make him an even older man.
Please. I need to look at least 300 more years old.
Yes. And then we have Mr. Birdurai, who is currently wearing a very nice, sleek black tuxedo, and by his request, he wanted a white mask with a matching white cape pinned with a rose.
He's tuxedo mask.
Because he's trying to make him look cool.
So good, so
His
good.
spats.
And his spats, he is wearing his spats.
His custom magic item spats, right?
Not his custom magic item spats, that's right.
Love it, love it.
And so, as the door opens for your first guest of the evening,
Oh no.
I'm scared.
I say, oh no.
as the person who is attending the announcements when you're supposed to announce the guest. So I present to you as he looks at the note, sighs heavily, the illustrious, radiant, the always will be Prince of the High Moors, His Highness, Prince Neravane, accompanied with his +3. As they open the door, and you see Neravane strut in, dazzling, nothing,
Love it.
a vision of emerald. As on one hand, he has the Janva, Ophelia, Greyson, and Yuliy saw before, the one kind of green-skinned furbolg who is just dressed in a simple, just evening jacket. Doesn't look very pleased to be there, as Nirenvain just kind of glides his way in. On one hand is his furbolg daddy, and on the other hand he has a leash, and on the end of those two leashes are two peacocks.
Oh my god.
To what?
Peacocks, yes.
Oh my god.
Are they male or female?
Male, obviously.
Just had to check.
Are they like feathered out and everything?
No, they're not feathered out. They're no, not yet. No.
He has fucking peacocks. Oh my god.
Fox is interested.
As he is just head to toe, emerald encrusted bodysuit with these two like glittering fake wings on his back. This long green silk train behind him, his hair pulled down all the way into like this very tight braid that goes down to his knee. And on his head fixed is a glittering green, what looks to be dragon mask. Cool. As he walks in, I have arrived.
Greyson's gonna lean into Janva and just be like, how dare his boots be taller than mine?
And Janva's just
this?
like, and this is problem number one.
Ugh.
Janva's just kind of jabbing Greyson in the stomach and just gesturing.
Gesturing to
what's on top of his head.
If everyone wants to roll me a perception.
Oh.
Sure.
Even though I just described it to advantage. He's not hard to miss. As you are kind of taking in this vision, Eleanor will kind of give an excited little giggle as she runs all the way up to go to Nirenvain, and it's just like, oh, Neri baby, and it's just like, oh, Ellie, and back and forth. They do the kisses and just like their best.
Janva just like, what the fuck?
So Greyson got a natural 1 on his perception.
Those fucking boots.
Those boots have upset me.
Did you roll with advantage?
I did not roll with advantage.
Okay.
Okay, now it's a 2.
You're worried about the boots. Those boots.
But did you... The boots. But did you see the top of his head? But the boots.
You see boots. It's like I understand that you're worried about something else, but do you see those boots? Where did he get them done? Can I have their name?
He has stiletto heels. That bastard.
I don't know. Why don't you go ask him? Please don't do that.
What did everyone else get for perception?
I got 13.
Okay.
19. Oh, well, excuse me. 23.
Fair. Fox?
18.
18. Yuliy?
18.
Ooh.
Number one.
Are you guys not seeing the boots?
You just see Janva reach over to Greyson and grab him by the chin and tilt it up.
So
That's going to be a
see
thing
the
for you,
dragon
John,
mask,
because he's
right?
really tall. So would you say, Jesus?
Do we see the dragon mask?
Yes, you do.
Okay, making sure.
You will see the dragon mask fixed atop his head, kind of with his hair like entwined and braided with it to hold it in place.
Cool. I'm gonna walk up right up to him.
Oh, okay. Oh, aren't you adorable? I love your bowler. Where did you get it?
I'm gonna completely ignore him and talk to the peacocks.
Oh!
Since I can commune with all animals as a shepherd druid, I can communicate with every animal as long as it's a natural animal.
Right.
I'm going to, in the best peacock voice that he has, ask them how they're being treated.
Oh no.
making those noises.
Yes. You just see Fox start to talk like a peacock. Which is a very startling noise to come out of a turtle.
Is Fox okay?
I don't think he ever is okay.
The answer is never okay.
It's hard because I don't want to base all birds off of all the birds I know, based off of behavior and personality, but it's all I have to work with. So it's just like a general sense of nervous, new place, don't like this. This isn't mine, but it's going to be mine now. I'm going to go shit over there.
Right. They don't seem malnourished or anything like that.
No, they're perfectly healthy peacocks.
Okay, all right. Okay.
They're perfectly healthy. They have a very, just almost perfect luster to their feathers.
Okay. I'm going to tell them in peacock.
Okay.
The best way that I can. If you need anything, just let me know. And then I'm gonna
food. You have food. You have food. You said you had food. You said you had food. I want food. You're gonna give me the food right now. I'm gonna try to bite at your fingers now because you said you'd give me food.
I'm gonna let them bite at my fingers.
Okay, they're gonna do that.
Cute. And I'm gonna go get some food and drop them on their feet.
Okay.
And then I'll say hello to Mr. Emerald.
And then...
So a whole 5 minutes passed.
Yeah.
Yes, the entire time you would have been talking to them. He would have been talking. He was like, "Oh, I know, aren't they just absolutely darling? They come from that manner. I have this whole, I have this whole field full of them. I took my 2 best favorites. That one's name is Charlie. The other one is Louise."
I'm gonna ask them if they know their names.
What are names?
All right, good, fair. Do they have names? Do they have their own personal?
I don't know what personal names peacocks would have.
I mean, I'm just
But
communicating with them.
certainly their names would not be Charlie and Louise.
Whatever they tell me, however they balk their individual name, that's how I'm going to announce them as to our green dragon individual.
Whatever name you want to come up with.
Matt.
Man.
Matt.
Matt and Matt. This is Matt and Matt.
And then I'm gonna look at all the emeralds that they have on them.
Yeah.
And is he still talking to me?
Oh, he would have been talking the whole time.
Oh, you were talking to me? I thought you were just talking to nobody.
Oh, well, now that you're listening, I can talk to you again. Would you like me to repeat myself?
Yeah, every little thing that you just said.
He would.
All right.
Oh my god.
He would do exactly that.
Okay. I'm gonna go and get him a drink.
Oh, very nice. All right, so as you move into the foyer, the next guest would be arriving. So let me get that up.
Darn in space.
As a very a familiar, dark-skinned, very broad, muscular tiefling will walk in with a kind of like a white beard, now brushed and calmed down, as he looks a little bit more presentable than he had done once before on the ship. As the person giving announcements will announce him as captain of the secret oasis and acting representative to the Tormenta estates, Captain Zanabe.
Clapping way too loudly.
Ophelia in the back of this very empty hall just...
I don't even get a clap.
Not even one. As he enters and kind of adjusts his evening jacket. You can tell it's a little too stuffy for his tastes, but he looks over and it's just like, oh, there's my little Fifi.
Yes. If he comes towards me, I'm gonna twirl and be like, "Look at me!" and just like show him my dress.
I'd swear you're a vision being sought by a dying pirate.
Jeez.
He has a way with words.
Yeah.
And it's like Yuliy looking sharp as always as he points to your trident as he says sharp.
Go away.
Yuliy, just hold out your hand and alcohol will just turn up in it.
Do it.
And it just a flute of champagne just shows up in your hand.
Other hand.
The second one. You now have two
Too
flutes of champagne.
So fancy.
So fancy now.
For once. I enjoyed being nice too.
I gave you I let you borrow my necklace.
This is mine now.
Okay, so
Ooh.
as everyone's settling in for
The help is time to look at.
for,
Okay.
for Narenvain, small talk is there's no such thing as small talk. It's all loud and in the open and all at once. So, which he would say is going to be the title of his autobiography.
Oh,
God, I love him.
So
He's a mess.
he is a mess. And so, entering next, I'm actually supposed to be rolling for this. Okay. So next, being ushered in through the front door as you are all just kind of mingling about, Eleanor and Narenvain are talking very excitedly about whatever it is that he is wearing. It's just like, oh, darling, do you not love it? So, you know, that adorable little thing over there as he points to you, Fifi. So she told me about her family's line of jewels. I went to go seek them out. So these are all Tormenta brand. The absolutely stunning. Flawless 100%. I am so sad that we only have one. So we only have one supplier currently in my social circle. I need to add another stat. So is anyone in general going to just be, what in all is everyone going to be doing during this whole...
Janva is sipping champagne and being a wallflower.
Right, so are you just going to kind of keep an eye on things as...
She will be. Like, kind of like stop a little bit, look around when she feels like, and then she'll move, just kind of like that.
Okay, Ophelia, anything in particular you're doing, or?
I'm probably chatting with Zanibe for a minute, and I'm gonna go up to Narenvain and just like fawn over all the jewels that he bought for my family.
Oh, fawn you will. And fawn he will. It's like, I would love to thank you so, so much for introducing me to your family's wonderful jewels.
I'm glad you like them as much as I do.
I have 5 outfits on back order currently.
It's always great to have a spare and then an extra spare just in case.
Oh, I have 3 outfits planned for later, actually, but I have 5 on back order currently for the rest of the season.
Are you going to change outfits during the party?
I'll see how I'm feeling. I'll see how sober I am.
That's very true.
This one was takes a very long sip of his champagne. Interesting.
We're like, interesting, the champagne?
It was interesting. Let's just say it takes more than one pair of hands.
Oh. I think I hear Janva. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna go to...
Janva. As you see
Oh my God.
Ophelia briskly walking away from near in vain.
Are you okay? Did he insult you? What happened?
I don't even know. I thought I was too much, but I think like I thought I was a handful.
Which, if you do look over in his direction, you will see that he has kind of like taken a little bit of a walk towards one of the windows that looks out towards the garden. He stops and is just looking. And if you kind of watch him a little bit longer, you realize he's looking at his reflection in the glass.
God damn him.
Wow.
Of course. Oh my God.
Just kind of look.
I don't know what I expected. I should have known.
What the angle is. Checks the back end. Yeah. As his furbolg companion would have just kind of drifted over to one of the far walls and is just standing there. If a servant walks by to offer an hors d'oeuvre, he just kind of gets a withering stare, and then they just kind of like, oh, all right, and they just walk on.
Mm-hmm. And where are they kind of looking? I guess you could say.
I'm gonna get a visual up, so that makes it easier for us. Scoot. So I have to drag everything, so it's like... Nope, come here. Here. And done. Okay. So there we have our guard, we have a person. Up. Place people down. So, Janva, where would you like to be?
Hold on, I'm trying to get it to... let's see. I guess the question is, where is everybody currently?
Alright, so I'm
where
going
was
to say...
everything done at currently?
So I'm going to say Nearvane's about right here. I'll get a marker for him in a minute. The Fertile would be... I'm going to say about right over here.
Okay. I guess Janva is going to be kind of around...
I'm going to have Burbo up here. Okay. Where would you like Janva?
Janva would probably be hanging around, I guess... Yeah, about right there.
Right there? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, Fox, where would you like to be?
I was probably going to stand around Yervin and just let him talk. And every now and then I would give them a very vague compliment, just so they can keep talking. And
Nice,
I would try my best to also keep an eye on the Fergball.
Okay, sure thing.
But I want my idea is I want him to keep talking, and I'm sure they can do that all day.
Oh, 100% for sure. All right, and Greyson, where would you like to be?
Sorry, I didn't know I was muted.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to probably be by near in vain as well. I want to kind of eavesdrop.
So about right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And Yuliy, where would you like to be? Other than far away from Ophelia.
I was actually going to go towards the captain, and I was going to give him one of the wines that I had.
And I'll put you over here, and I'll get a token for the captain.
And I was just going to tell him that, in my not caring voice, that I do not know what's going to happen. So if I somehow become the 9th or 10th body that's dead in the ship,
Why would you
You
assume
bet.
you're going to be the 9th or 10th body?
I've heard stories.
That's very fair. Word gets around on ship really quickly.
So, if anything were to happen, you take care of her. Because if you don't, I swear, I will come back from the dead, and I'll
Boy,
kill
you're
you
telling
myself.
me to take care of her when I've been
Yes.
doing that much longer than you've been walking on this earth?
You have not been with her in public.
Ooh. Damn, Yuliy.
If you don't take care of her, Cap, I will come back from the dead, and I'll kill you myself.
He cares.
There we go. I'm going to use this guy for the Furbolg.
She may be a pain, but she's my pain.
Aww.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Okay, now I'm gonna go back to not caring. Okay, bye.
Fair enough. I never heard a word. Okay. Let me get a thing for Eleanor, because I know I had one for her. There she is. Okay. She would have been talking to Irvine as well. Okay.
Okay, during this,
Yes.
okay, Phoebe's gonna try to be sneaky, but probably will fail.
Oh no.
I'm gonna set up
Okay.
3 of my items that you know about.
Okay.
One in the gardens, one in the wine cellar, and one in the foyer.
Where specifically in the gardens?
I guess towards the entrance, like in the corner.
Okay.
I need to roll perception to find her.
I mean, I'm not doing anything
Bad.
obviously wrong.
I knew I should have had a token made. Knew I should have made a token for that.
Interesting
All
party,
right.
everybody. This is
It's just such an interesting party, guys.
such a ballin' event here
Oh.
Is it?
in Baldur's Gate.
I'll use that one. There we go. So, Ophelia, are you trying to be stealthy about this?
Yeah, a little bit.
Roll me stealth for this.
I
you
will
were
do-
setting up your, and I'm gonna just say in general for the party, roll me perception to see if you can see what she's up to.
Where's my stealth? Oh, plus whole walking plus.
Okay.
Wow, I am not meant to be stealthy.
Oof.
Just let check and see.
So that Antem? Yes. Of course.
Greyson got an 11.
What'd you get, Ophelia?
A 6.
Literally everyone had to beat a 6.
Wow, cool. So glad I wasted my 20 on that.
What'd you get, Yuliy?
My passive perception could have seen her.
Yuliy, what'd you get? What'd you get?
I got a nat 20.
Oh my god.
Y'all,
It's okay.
stop it.
Captain Zanabe also wasted a nat 20.
Oh my
Holy
god.
crap. Our fight's gonna suck.
I know.
We're all on high alert right now.
Oh, I think that's my other D&D character.
Okay.
This
So you would have seen
I feel
her
attacked.
from the moment she decided to sneak off from you, Janva, and you were kind of standing together, and she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go do a thing. Bye." And she grabs her purse and walks towards the wine cellar. Everyone sees her walk towards the wine cellar.
What are you doing?
Are you in the wine cellar? Yeah. No, wait. Yeah, you are.
I am. Like right there.
Because they are literally right in
What are
front
you
of
doing?
the wine cellar.
You don't see me.
I'm gonna let her walk off a little bit, and then I'm gonna start following her.
Is anyone else following her, or is they just going to let Yuliy do his job?
I'll let Yuliy do his job.
Same.
Don't care.
As you see Ophelia walk by you, Fox, and Nirenbane also looks over, and it's just like, isn't she just a doll?
Yep, such a doll with the pretty and stuff.
As he waves to you, Ophelia.
Say what?
As Nirenbane waves to you, it's like, oh, where are you going? We can talk later, yes?
Yeah, totally later. Okay, 1 second. And then go walk off.
Alright, Yuliy. Ophelia, roll me perception, because I just want to see how this plays out.
Lovely.
This is amazing. I didn't plan this. Okay, I'm not using that dice.
I didn't plan that I'd roll so poorly in stealth.
20. Dirty
What?
20.
You just feel that sensation of disappointment. And you look around, and Yuliy's right behind you.
Just like,
Hi. Bye.
still following her.
So Yuliy, you're gonna witness her. You want to describe to him what you're doing, since he was witnessing?
I'm strategically hiding in corners of each room a box of fireworks.
The growing disappointment on Fox's face.
Jesus.
I'm excited. Jesus is excited.
A whole month I've been keeping the secret.
So, as Ophelia goes off to hide her box of fireworks, very strategically, she has had this planned out for close to about a week now. Or for as long as this party has been planned, she has had this planned out. As she goes to kind of set her fireworks, as every now and then, as you pass through the kitchens, you pass into the gardens, you go to the one part, you see Yuliy, you see one of the guards just kind of look over and just like, fucking kids. The next guest would be arriving, as the person announcing would kind of call attention as they do. So presenting and standing in for Lady Rhoda Tataric is representatives of the Tataric estate. Lady Rhoda Tataric's grandson, and +1, Xavier Tataric. As you see, since Ophelia's not there anymore, Greyson, as you are still kind of hanging around with apparent fear in your eyes.
Who now?
As the announcement is made and clear as a bell, you hear your family's name being announced. So you don't know who this person is, but they have your last name. And And roll me perception.
That's a 13.
Okay. Oh, 13, okay. As you kind of, with the champagne flute in hand, you just kind of lean around the corner to take a look.
Excuse me? Just the slide.
Just slides over like, excuse me. What you got right there. And Janva, since you are currently in the vicinity as well, look over, you will see. I'm gonna move it Ophelia down here. You will see essentially the same image that you saw from when you were at High Hall. You see a woman dressed all in black, black veil obscuring her face, black gloves, just completely, just practically a shadow. As she's in which the black dress she's wearing, it's a very fine dress. Like it's got like detailed with like lacing and like embroidery, but it's just entirely black. And then standing next to her is which the announcer said grandson, so naturally the male tiefling standing next to her is who they were announcing. And it's the same kind of tall muscular, but more of a lean muscle, with two horns that twist out from his forehead, and his hair is just very neatly coiffed back, black hair, and he is currently wearing a plate mail. Which, let me get this boy's picture up on screen. So we have a visual. There he is.
Oh, I hate you, Vic.
Can I have Janva roll perception?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
That's a 21.
What was it that you were looking for?
The name was Xavier that you said?
You heard the name, Xavier Tataric. Grandson to Lady Rhoda Tataric.
She's looking at him, and then she's looking over at Greyson, and then she's looking back.
There is a family resemblance, as you were staring between the two.
And then she's gonna look back over to Greyson and just mouth, "What the fuck?"
I didn't do anything.
He's
But they didn't say any. But they didn't announce the woman in black, though.
+1.
+1. Okay.
And +1. Which, as he enters the estate. Let me. Okay. As he steps in, a little hesitant at first because hooves on polished marble floor. He kind of takes up a little slow until he hits the carpet, and then kind of pulls his arm out in a very trained, gentlemanly fashion for the woman next to him to take it as they are led into the party. And I will roll a thing. Okay, that's a thing. Yeah. Okay. As they walk in, kind of giving acknowledgement to people in passing as they are walking towards Eleanor to announce themselves and do general talk as they do. Which means they are walking... Which, yeah, they will walk past you, Greyson. Anything in particular, or are you just gonna...
Detect thoughts.
Detect thoughts?
I'm gonna just cast detect thoughts on this guy.
The initial thought, as he locks eyes with you as you are walking by, and the weird part is, they said he was your mother's grandson.
Yes.
But he has the same green eyes as you. And he locks eyes with you as he looks, and there's just a mix of emotion on his face. And the first thought that bubbles up before he catches himself is, what the fuck is he doing here?
Oh! Can I assume he's talking about?
He's looking right at you. He's looking right at you when the thought appears.
Greyson just kind of goes like this, like. Me?
What
He
was
doesn't say anything.
So I can't see Lynn. What was the movement?
He kind of clutches his pearls.
Yeah, he puts his hand on his chest and like leans back and just kind of looks like side eyes. I'm like, excuse me?
just not saying anything, but just his whole body language is just, excuse me.
God.
The audacity.
The audacity.
How dare you think that?
as you kind of have that bit of like a nonverbal exchange, he kind of stops himself, like as if he's wanting to approach you, but the woman in black just kind of gives him like a gentle tug on the arm to move him forward, and you can see there's a bit of a frustration on his face, but he just kind of snorts like a cloud of steam and just walks off.
Is that something that we all get to see? Or is
Yeah.
it just like them?
I'm gonna say, go ahead and roll me perception, since it's generally within your area.
I'm close by, but I'm also like trying
Yeah.
to make Urban talk as much as Urban wants to talk.
Yeah, so I would have you roll perception, since you're kind of like sidetracked, like between two things.
That would be 14.
14. So yeah, you'll see that it's pretty close in your vicinity.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what they're talking about or thinking, but I just okay.
Right,
They both
you see-
acknowledge each other.
Lock eyes, and kind of like he wants to start towards Greyson. I mean, you're not sure if he wants to fight him or something, but
Because like I assume there's a vast amount of people here. Fox is just trying to see who the key members that he needs to pay attention to are.
right. Which there would be more people filing in. It's just having readily available pieces on the board, but
For
it's
sure. Yeah. That's just so people can get a little bit more insight of what Fox is doing and just general positioning of the party.
Yeah. So it's starting to the party's starting to fill up a bit. It's mainly people just kind of milling about, talking, and it's just like a general there's now like that general buzz in the air of conversation happening as the exchange between the Tiefling and Greyson happen, and then they move on, and now they're going to be stopped before you, Fox, as they go to greet Eleanor. As she turns, she does the appropriate curtsy. The woman curtsies. The Tiefling known as Xavier does his bow. And roll me an insight.
Fox?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that is a 14.
14. Okay.
Apologies. Nope, I don't know how to do math. 13.
13. Okay. You will see that when he does his bow, he looks a little uncomfortable. And whether it be because of the armor he's wearing or just he doesn't want to be in the situation, it's hard to tell.
Okay, I'm just gonna, if he looks at me, I'm just going to look at him and say, at ease.
Okay. Yeah, which, just respectfully, just looking to you, just in greeting, and it's like, kind of, I'm not a soldier. Okay. And he just kind of rolls his eyes a bit.
How far is the range for detect thought, by the way?
Greyson?
Let me check. 30 feet.
Would you still be able to detect his thoughts? Even during our
Yeah,
well,
15, 25. He's right at 30.
Okay.
Yep.
Just in case that sparked anything for Greyson. Just decided it'd be worth mentioning.
Weird old man.
Grayson sipping his wine when he says that.
It's very appropriate, actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
weird old man mixed with what is he wearing?
jeez. Can Grayson kind of try to figure out how old he is? Because he has a twin sister. They're the same age.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if that's an insight or a perception. Perception can look mean, but insight is like. Let's make it an insight. Why not?
18, 22.
That is about roughly how old he looks.
Great.
He looks about your age.
Huh. Interesting.
The family drama goes deeper.
Ugh.
So as Eleanor does her curtsy, does its bow, and it's just kind of holding his hand out respectfully to her, and it's just like, I apologize that my grandmother couldn't make it, but she is gracious for your invite. And I was, but she actually is kind of stuttering a bit on his words, as this is like a practice that obviously he's had to do, and now it's his first time out in the big world, and now we're having to actually put into practice what we were taught. Thank you for inviting me. And that's just how he puts it, as his companion next to him is quiet, as she says nothing.
Mm.
As Lady Eleanor herself is just like, oh, it's so wonderful that you came. And it's like, I'm just such a strapping little man. And just general, to Fox, it's just boring talk about, it just devolves into boring talk about business and, whose family's doing what, and this person's away on vacation, yada, yada, yada.
You'll take note and absorb, but not interrupt.
Yeah, okay. As that general conversation would go on for a bit. And then our last person will be introduced, which I'll get a marker for him in a second. But Janva, roll me perception.
Oh.
As you are kind of hanging out in the main foyer area where people are coming in.
19.
19? Okay. So you'll see him walk in. Not hard to miss. An older gentleman with description. Older gentleman looking about 80s or 90s, kind of slowly walks himself in. At his side is a much younger gentleman, about maybe his like 40s or 50s or so. By that much younger than the other guy. He's wearing like these dark, swirling blue robes made of silk. His head just completely shaved, unadorned by anything. The man next to him is just wearing just kind of black robes of that nature, same style and nature as him, but he's just kind of covered with a bit of a kind of like a more ornate headdress over his head and like a high collar. As they kind of both walk in, And the announcing person says, and presenting the ambassador of Thay is Galvin, is Lord Galvin the Cunning.
Did you say Fae or they?
Thay.
Fae.
TH.
Okay.
Thay. I said what I said.
I just want to make sure you didn't say Fae, because I'm like, oh, okay.
Thay. THAY. Thay.
It's a different kind of monster there.
It's a different kind of monster. Lord Galvin the Cunning with his accompanied by +1.
I can only tell you right now what is probably happening is Janva was taking a sip, mostly holding it the entire night, but as that's announced, she was taking a sip of her champagne and she chokes on it.
So is Greyson's detect thoughts on one target or is it an area thing?
It is. Let me see. I know it's a spell you cast on yourself, but hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that awesome spell book someone has.
Look at that! That's so cool.
It's so handy.
As Greyson looks at this gold.
Any one creature you can see within 30 feet.
What are your general thoughts at the moment, Janva?
Fuck.
Grayson's just sipping his wine, and all of a sudden he just starts hearing that over and over, and he's like, who the
And you just see Janva kind of do one of these numbers. And she's walking... Now, where is it they're coming in? Okay, so where the two guards on the one side is... Okay, Janva's making a beeline over by Greyson and kind of like this again and just keeping her head down and trying to kind of hide a little bit behind Greyson.
Yeah, can I help you?
Yeah, so
Is that something that the party can? I mean, not that we can't see Janva moving, but can we see the general like oh shitness in Janva's?
You know what?
Personality.
Actually, before, is it okay if I can retcon really quick her moving over to Greyson?
Yeah.
Does he see her?
Yes.
Okay, she's not going to run away.
And even though you were standing in a kind of maybe about like 5 or so people just kind of meandering in the foyer talking, you are the only Drow in this area currently. So yes, he would see you.
Okay, but she's not going to run away. Then if that's the case. Because that means I'm running away from my problems.
I mean,
Not healthy.
Ball and party.
God.
and as he enters, he will, he and his +1 will walk past you. There's kind of a moment of he looks, but there is no, you can't quite glean any kind of internal indication off of him as he walks by. His attention is on you for 1 second, and then it's not. As he walks, he introduces, they all talk with Eleanor and Near and Vane, and it's just like, oh, Galvin, so wonderful for you to come. I almost said drive. Thank you for driving in from Thay. That was so nice of you. It's such a long trip. What, 5 hours?
It's a 5-hour drive, you know.
No, no big deal.
Without traffic.
Without traffic.
And Janva just like, well, that was disappointment. I was probably just, that was the look of, anyways, I'm used to that.
Possibly. As well, essentially the talk being, it's like, oh, it's so wonderful for you to come in. I know this was like a last minute thing, but it's just it happened here. I know it's a very long trip for you, and it's like, please, I don't. It's like I know that my name is Ambassador of Thay, but I don't. Not there anymore. That's country's getting a little too much for me. So as their general talk has had, Ox, the servant, the one that you had talked to in the kitchen, will walk up behind you and give you kind of like a tap on your shoulder. And it's just like you mentioned, the chef said that.
Yeah. I'm coming. Be right back. Bowler hat.
Bowler hat.
And then make my way to the kitchen, and I'm going to pile the food as best I can within a 5-foot area.
All right.
And then cast Purify Food and Water.
Okay. And I'll say it's. Yeah, I'll say you can get that generally accomplished. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say if there like if I couldn't because it's just a vast amount of food, I would specifically dictate which food would go to our hostess. So she definitely has a purified food.
Yeah, because there is, as you go into the kitchen, there is going to be the prepared spread that just is there for presentation and show. Like you look at it and you're like, that's a waste of food, but it's just for show. You have the crabs just kind of like erected in a way that it looks like they're fighting one another, and they're like dressed with like herbs and like berries and shit.
Foxes.
But then there's like the actual plates of food that are going to be served, and those that can be put together in a 5-foot area.
Fox is restraining a lot of things that he hates about everything that is happening today.
Yes.
That he cannot stand out.
Yes.
And I will then go very briefly just to the captain and look at him. If Yuliy's talking to him, I'm going to interrupt him. Is Spud okay?
Oh.
Spud? Oh, right. Yes. Very fine ass. Yes.
Yeah.
As a good donkey. Yeah, he's just fine. I've had some of my crew go to check in on him every now and then.
Good.
And then the little kobolds, I believe they're called. They're fine.
Good. All right. I'm gonna pretend like I'm talking to you, and you pretend like you're talking to me.
That's exactly what we're doing right now.
And then I'm going to, as soon as he is talking, I'm going to mutter the incantation for detect magic.
Okay.
As best I can as a whisper, and then
Okay.
I'll walk throughout the party.
Okay. Well, let's see. Besides no magic users, which you will get, Eleanor herself is fine. You will get no blips of magic off of her. The tiefling lights up like a Christmas tree as you walk by him. Like he himself, but also there's he himself, but then there's his armor that's also kind of getting a ping of magic off of it. That's kind of different from himself.
I will take a, I think it's a bonus action or an action, I do not recall.
It's one of those things, but we're not in combat, so I'm not going to count it.
I will take the seconds that I need to, the appropriate amount of seconds, to see what school of magic he is and his armor.
What school of magic he is? Because he's just generally a magic user.
Then I think I would get just general, like.
Okay.
Like Pathfinder has universal school, so like
yeah.
that's what I would always say, but I don't think 5th edition has that.
I would say his magic would fall under. Let me look at his sheet.
I mean, you could. I mean, if it's magic, it's just magic.
It's magic, but you get a sense of I forget the word. The word for it. Evocation. That's what I was looking for. A lot of essentially evocation, but his armor is infinite.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll just keep going and definitely look at as our fly Yervin.
Okay, so he's magic. The woman next to him has magic. And then Yervin, of course.
Are they themselves magical? Like I just get the impression that they're spellcasters.
Yeah, they themselves are magical, and then as Janva had pointed out on top of his head, his mask is magic.
What school of magic is the master?
I'm trying to remember what it was for the first time we did that. I think it was also like a level of enchantment. Whatever it is for magic masks.
Oh, and just for sake, I did cast Detect Magic at its appropriate level. Like I didn't cast it at a higher level.
No, okay, yeah.
So it's a level 1.
Okay.
Just in case that matters, because it does.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's good. Yeah. Still exactly tell me what my things are, but that's okay. And unless and enchantment, I would say, because it was a thing that was forged, therefore I would call it enchantment.
Okay, no, that's cool. And I'm just gonna keep doing that.
Sorry, we get a thing over there. You do get a blip of transmutation magic. Well, no, you just get a blip of magic from. Ignore that I said that, but the Firbolg is also magic.
I'm sorry?
The Firbolg is also magic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
What about our boy over here?
Which boy over where?
This guy.
Yeah. Magic, and same for his companion.
Okay.
Which I haven't put out yet. It's like trying to go thing.
Sure. Alright, so I'm gonna definitely continue keeping an eye on the ones that I have mentioned, but now I have an in-game reason to keep an eye on them.
Alright, and then with that, the dinner bell will be rung and calling everyone into the dining hall. And from there, we will take a break and come back.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. So about 15.
Okay. Alright.
Okay.
See you guys in a bit.
Yep.
Hey, yo, Vic, I've got the new script you sent us for the next episode. So we have new players? Who's Greyson? You know who that is?
Yeah, I'm reading that too. What's this? Torival?
So we have new players?
New players?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, dude. So it also says that the schedule's changed. We're playing on Mondays now?
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened to Tuesday?
That'll team out Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Okay.
And just one last little thing.
It's online now?
Yeah, that. So we're not playing in the studio anymore. It's all online. All right, man. That fucking works for me. All right. Cool. See you later. Bye.
Like it's hot. We are back. Hi guys, welcome back. It's dinner time. As during the break, everyone selected their seats for the dinner. My dog is being obnoxiously loud.
Oh, he's just hungry. It's dinner time.
Yeah, it's dinner time, and he's okay.
You said the word dinner.
I did. So as the party and general guests are taken into the dining nook to eat, they are placed. They are set down. There is a disgustingly elaborate food spread set up, mostly as display. As they bring the food, and you're thinking, "Oh, that looks good. That looks good," but they're just setting it up for like decoration. Because when you have the money, just waste all the food.
Yep.
As I described to Fox, you see like these cooked crabs arranged in a way that looks like they're like fighting one another, and they're dressed with like herbs and berries and gold leaf. You see like these giant clamshells also like brought out, where like soups and like little sauces are also like poured into them to be carried in. And then just like general like sugar sculptures and like big this kind of like this braided bread pie that also just sits in the middle. And then they bring you your place settings, which I want to attempt this, even though I don't have my notes with me because I left them back in San Antonio and I'm a little mad about it, but I'm going to attempt this. I'm going to have everybody set aside a d20. This is my personal game that I'm playing.
Sure.
Set aside a d20. That is your social status counter. So you're going to use that. It's going to be set at 20 for now. And depending on how you present yourself in this dinner, you could either lose points or gain points. But since you're at 20, you're the highest you can go. So you are currently in good favor of the host and the guests. And so depending on what you do, I'll have you roll charisma-based checks, depending. And if you don't meet the DC, I'll have you roll a D6 to see how many points you lose or how many points you try to gain back, depending on how you want to approach certain situations.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes.
That'll be fun.
All of a sudden we start playing Dragon Age.
Thank you for calling me out.
That's okay.
I wanted to feel original, but thanks.
Way to call him out, jeez.
Fine. That's fine. So, as we will start with our first challenge, as you sit down at the table, there are several utensils lined up in your sitting space.
Oh no!
At least, since it's a small informal affair, you have at least 3 forks, a couple spoons, several knives, and then 3 drinking glasses, all placed in front of you. As they start to bring out the food, they will bring you your first course, which is just starting with like a light soup. I'm trying. As they bring you just kind of like this light broth-based soup, as they place it each in front of you. And dinner has begun as idle conversation is happening between everyone.
So who's across from Janva?
So what?
Who's that across from Janva?
That'll be the young tiefling Xavier.
Okay.
And who's across from us, by the way?
This will be his +1, which is the lady dressed in black. And then next to her is Captain Zeneve.
Okay.
And then across from Birdurai will be Galvin. His +1 attendant will be right behind him. And I should have mentioned this earlier. So we have Eleanor sitting right there at the head. And then also sitting next to her at the head, technically, since I can't arrange it in a way on this layout, but Nirenvain is sitting in the Furbolg's lap in the chair.
Of course he is.
Yep.
as he sits in his lap, arms around his neck, poised. Just like, Eleanor, this is such a lovely spread. Truly, I am breathless. But that might also be the corset. And so, as your first meal is brought to you, what do you do? How do you go about this?
I know exactly what to do.
Greyson?
Greyson's not going to touch anything until the hostess does.
Same. Janva knows at least that much too.
Yeah.
Fox?
Oh, Fox.
I'm not eating or doing anything. I'm just looking at everyone.
Okay.
Not that I was trying to be social or pick up on those cues. I just am not interested in the food.
Just doesn't care.
Yeah.
As the bowls are placed in front of you, there's like a minute as Eleanor thanks you all for attending tonight, and she will go and move to pick up her spoon. The correct spoon.
I'm gonna copy her, whatever spoon she just picked up.
Roll me perception.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You're a princess. You should know this.
I got a nat 1. So a 6.
I'm gonna say from where you're sitting, the place settings are very high. They're very ornate and heavy, and just in the way. And so you're just trying to like see what spoon she's gonna grab. You know, you see 2 spoons in front of you, and you're like, I gotta figure out which one this is. But you see her hand go behind something, blocks it, and then she picks up a spoon. So you've got the left and the right. Which one do you pick?
The furthest one away from me.
Okay. Is there any manner that you're holding it, or are you just grabbing it to start eating?
Very delicately, I'm gonna hold it like a lady that I am.
Roll me performance, because I let the dog out.
Oh, why did I do this? +1. 7. Whenever he comes back.
7, you say.
7.
You're looking. You're kind of watching everyone. You grab the spoon that's farthest away from you. You hear. You see a little bit of a. It's like, okay, I think I got the right one, and then you go to pick it up, and it clatters against the bottom plate, and you drop it in your bowl.
Of course.
And roll me a d6.
Oh no. I was raised on a ship with not pirates, but like crew. I have no manners. 4.
4. So that's take 4 off of your status.
19, 18, 17, 16.
We're starting off strong today.
Okay.
As all eyes just kind of look at you while you kind of fumble this and your spoon clatters noisily against the porcelain, and it's just near in vain, just like, oh dear. We need to erect a kid's table, did you think?
Oh!
You're just like,
How do the people respond to that?
Roll me an insight.
15.
15. There's kind of like an amused chuckle of I should laugh because obviously we're telling a funny, and I'm just going to politely laugh at the joke.
All right, so no one's being completely rude towards my friend. That's all I care.
Yeah.
I want to say something, but
the Tiefling Xavier, he's not laughing at the joke, but it's more like he's just trying to not laugh that she fumbled it because it's like, okay.
Excuse me.
It's like not in rude gesture, but just because it was,
Yeah,
it was an oops, and that was funny.
Faux show.
Oh, show.
I want to say something so bad, but I'm not going to say it.
If you want, what are you gonna say, Fifi?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay. Fair. All right. So, as Eleanor, she starts to she starts to eat, and so everybody else also follows suit as they follow after the host and what she does. First course is done, taken away. Second course is brought in. It's just at this point, it's just little like plates of food, just like tiny little portions that are brought in just time after time. And I guess in general, unless you want to watch somebody to see what utensil they're picking up, if you want, you can just roll just a general. I guess trying to think, just like general intelligence, I would say, or if you care enough to try.
Fox is going to use no utensils.
Fair.
And he's not going to touch any of the meat.
Okay.
And if anyone looks at him, he will look at them and explain how rude they are, that they don't know about the Tortle culture.
Which, actually, it's funny enough. You will, I think the one person that actually will be watching you is everybody's more trying to focus on the hostess and speaking to her and then Near and Vane, because Near and Vane's obviously stealing the show at this point, from what you can tell.
Of course.
As loud and boisterous as they're being. You will notice Xavier, the young tiefling, his eyes are on you, Fox, as he just kind of looks at you and it's just like...
He's across from Yuliy.
Like actually right next to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that this is... Okay, cool.
Yeah, so he's just kind of like right next to you. He just kind of leans and it's just like, so what, you don't eat meat?
No. You do?
No.
Good.
It's like, it's cool. I mean, I learned it from my dad, so it's whatever.
Your dad doesn't eat meat. Why doesn't your dad eat meat?
Because he likes animals too much.
Animals are good.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
As and I guess just kind of watching in your manner as most of the meat dishes are always coming with like a little side of vegetable and then just that one giant piece of garnish. So it's just,
garnish.
You'll eat the garnish too.
Okay, good. Damn it! I don't want to like him. God.
You're sitting next to him, so he's going to talk to you.
Why are you giving me conflicting
feelings? Which, as he kind of looks over to the lady that he brought with him, and it's just she's not much for conversation, as she's just kind of delicately eating at her food and just under the veil, just not making her face shown. And it's just like kind of looks to her, then looks to you, and it's just like, you want to know a secret?
I'm just gonna nod.
I really fucking hate these things.
Arcanic traditions about how to present yourself in a society that values wealth over the individual is astonishing.
Yeah, it's absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's like he's going to say something else, but then you see the woman just kind of put her hand on his arm, and it's just he just kind of clams up again and just returns to picking at his food.
I'm gonna lean kind of close to him, and in a very serious fashion, and then wait a couple seconds before I give a like smile.
As you see Fox's just kind of like neck just out of the shell.
I'm gonna lean in, and hopefully he leans in too.
If he catches you doing it, he will.
If you were to tear down the establishment and burn down the bourgeoisie, how would you start the riots?
And there's just a moment where he's quiet, and you look at his face, and he's honestly thinking, and it's just like, well, you always start from the inside, because what are these people without, the people under them that are working for them? Mm-hmm. Take that away, and they're nothing.
I'm gonna nod.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna, as he is saying that, does he look anywhere? Or his eyes kind of just like focus on his thoughts?
Well, since you're intently looking at him, I won't make you roll anything for it. He occasionally glances across the table to, well, kind of not across the table, kind of like around you to look at Greyson. He's like just trying to sneak peeks at him.
Okay. So I know where his intention is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not where my intention is whose attention is on our hostess.
Yeah.
But we'll keep that noted.
Okay. So it's not so much he does not care about this party whatsoever, but now that he's here, you see that his attention is held somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. Very nice.
Thank you. I don't know what languages Greyson knows.
If you want to make that an idle conversation.
Yeah, I guess I'll idly ask Greyson what languages he knows.
He's right next to you, and you see that I'm going to assume, Greyson, that he's following protocol to a T when it comes to this dinner.
As you do.
Actually, how I will do that is, just in case anyone is eavesdropping, I'm going to point at the forks like I'm asking Greyson a question. And then each fork, I'm going to say the word fork or spoon or whatever is the utensil is there. First in Draconic. Greyson is in Draconic. Then in Sylvian.
Nope.
Fucking thieves can't.
No.
Which the other ones you would not know either. Alrighty then. Cool. And then I look at him like, damn it. As I'm just looking at him and he's just hearing weird languages. And I just look at him and say, damn it. And then
Greyson looks at
So,
wait, what?
yeah, Greyson sees Fox.
Greyson pokes at his head, like,
Insight. Roll me an insight, Fox.
That would be 16.
16. He's pointing at his head, and it's like indicating, thinking.
I'm going to think this tiefling has his eye on you.
he's just gonna nod.
And I'm gonna say, I hope no one else can read my thoughts. These shorts are super tight. And then I'm gonna start thinking about my tail a lot.
Greyson just shakes his head like, stop.
It's like just. So Greyson, how are we doing right now?
Peachy.
Now that we're thinking about Fox's tail.
I do.
The physics of the tail.
The physics of the tail.
Physics of the tail, and there's a tiefling watching you, and.
He knows the tiefling's watching, but he is going to just kind of keep his eyes just scanning the table. He's not focusing on anyone in particular. He's more focused on making sure Eleanor is okay. But he's also keeping an eye on the guards behind him and the +1s behind him, like seeing where they are and what they're up to.
Okay, and then you're still holding detect thoughts. Roll me a perception.
That
And then
is
I'll have. And then I guess I should also be doing this. I'll have you also roll me a performance, just so. Well, performance with advantage, since you have a background in this of how you were carrying yourself through this dinner.
Okay, 14 and 15.
15. Okay. All right. So you are picture perfect as always. And what was it for your perception?
I don't think I rolled perception yet. It was. I think I said it was a 12, but it's a 9 now.
Okay.
You rolled it.
Yeah. Okay. So, essentially, there's nothing out of the ordinary that you're noticing. Everyone is sitting, having idle chatter. Captain Zanabe mostly. If you look, you see that he's making faces at Ophelia, as you know, this is obviously not their you know this is not their typical deal that they like to do, so they're trying to do what they can to keep themselves entertained.
Fair.
So you see them making faces at Ophelia. Ophelia, I'm sure, is making faces back. Yuliy looks like he's slowly dying.
Oh, that's adorable.
Like always.
And Birdurai mostly just at attention, just alert, just kind of looking around. Every now and then he just kind of goes to peck at his food. Which he would get some eyes every now and then.
He's probably
And
picking
sort of thing where it's like, this is how it's done in bird culture.
Take it a cute.
I don't want to offend.
In bird culture.
In bird culture.
Oh, lovely.
By any chance, are the peacocks in here too?
Yeah, they'll be like over here.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Every now and then they're going to be obnoxiously loud as peacocks do. So just kind of strutting around, having the lay of the place, doing as you would expect a peacock to do if it's stuck at a venue. So every 15 minutes it's going to take a shit, just so you know.
It's gonna enhance the flavor of the food.
Okay.
As I am mostly working off reference of a friend's cockatoo, because the bigger the bird, the longer you gotta wait. Anyway. Anyway. So everything for you, it's as normal. The only one who you notice who isn't participating in conversation is going to be the bald gentleman that they said was from Thay. As he's just politely eating his dinner, keeping to himself. He will speak if addressed to. Yes, this guy. He will speak if Eleanor addresses him, and he will talk. Zenebe will probably lean over and just like make a comment, and he'll just say like one or two words, but in just enough to fulfill the social transaction, and then just return to himself.
Janva's just looking down at the line and just being like, yep.
Janva is taking particular interest in the wine.
Yeah.
But other than that, you have your guards stationed where they are, servants at the ready in case somebody needs a refill or ready to bring on the next course. Everything just, it's as normal as it should be for the party. Other than Near and Vane sitting in the Furbolg's lap and everyone acting like that's a normal thing you're supposed to do. Yeah. So. Janva?
Yes.
How are you doing?
The food's great.
Which there will be a moment where Eleanor will address Galvin. And just, it's like, so, tell me, how are things currently in Faye? Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Skipping Jesus.
Skipping Jesus. Can't miss it. It's like, so tell me, how are things in Faye? Have you been there? Have you been there recently? And it's just like, oh well. What is there to say about Faye? All the rumors you hear are normally true. And all of the news you hear from it is as ghastly as it always is. And there's just that moment of, we should not talk about Faye.
Can Janva do a history?
What?
Can Janva do a history?
Sure, you may. Yeah, roll history, which as he's kind of talking a bit, every now and then he will glance back to his +1, which from their interaction, you can see that he's acting more as an attendant to this older gentleman, almost caregiver in a way.
Wait, what?
Almost like a caregiver, for older people.
Okay. That was a 17 on the history.
I'm so mad I don't have my notes in front of me right now. Essentially, he would be discussing the current state of Thay at the moment. He would, which you, it aligns with the fact that you know it's true. He does not like a lot of the practices going on at the moment. He's not a fan of them. You know, everybody wants to be a lich. That's so boring. Why would you even just the prospect of eternal life? It's just you completely lose the point.
But at the same point, I just imagine Janva in the back of her head, just like, what the fuck are you doing in Thay?
And that's this person over here talking?
Yes, it'll be that man over there talking about Thay.
To
Eleanor. Eleanor would ask about.
Right.
It's polite to ask about one's work sometimes.
Okay, just very curious if anyone else can hear that specific thing that he just said.
Well, he's saying it in a general tone. He's not trying to be secretive about what he's saying. He's saying it like in a very casual, talking at dinner tone. So if you're at the table, yes, you will hear it.
All right, I'm gonna give a side eye.
Yeah.
If he notices me giving a side eye, I'll continue giving him a side eye. Like I heard that, and that's concerning.
As he will, as manners go, he will make sure to make eye contact with at least some people when he's talking, and yes, he will notice the 450-pound Tortle giving him a side eye at the end of the table. Okay. As he looks down at you. I suppose you have some opinions about where I come from.
No, I really don't give a shit about where you come from. Just the idea of lichhood.
It's quite a ghastly subject, and I myself am not a fan of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, meddling with eternity, meddling with gods is fucked.
Yeah.
As when I say that, I'm gonna
oh my god,
intentionally look around the room to see if anyone is noticing the obnoxious 450-pound turtle.
You're not hard to miss. You want to roll me a d6?
Sure. 5.
All right, subtract 5 from your current status. Woo!
As that might be what he wants.
Okay.
Do I notice that more of the eyes are on me than on?
And I will say, since you have a lower tone than everyone else, it's like you have a very big base when you talk, so naturally the conversation will look to you.
Okay. How does Yervin seem when the attention is shifted?
Nervin, roll me an insight.
17.
17? A little disappointed. A little pouty about it. Okay. As he just kind of fusses with it great a bit. And it's just like, so the prospect of eternal life doesn't entice you?
No, it doesn't. There is a natural order to how things go. And when one meddles with it, it tends to bring eyes that are unwanted. Powerful eyes. Sometimes multiple eyes. Multiple heads.
I like having eyes on me. It's always fun.
Janva's gonna just sip that wine a little bit more.
You want to roll me a con save if you're drinking something?
Does Yervin flinch or do anything when I say multiple eyes?
You know what? Yeah, sure.
Pause, multiple heads?
No.
Okay.
He's as relaxed as ever. He's in a very comfortable spot.
That's a 15.
15? Okay, so you're on your feet still.
That was a 16 with a -1.
After Fox said that, I want to talk to Eleanor and bring up like the hint and be like, "Hey, Eleanor, why don't you tell the table how you met us?"
Oh my gracious! I don't want to talk about that. That's just that's. I was in such an unsightly state, but anyway.
Janva's just gonna kind of. She's gonna kind of like peek through her fingers and look down a little bit down It's just like, don't look at me, don't look at me, don't look at me.
It's where Nirnbane looks to Eleanor, and it's just extending one of those little clawed fingers. And it's just like, yes, oh, please, I need to know how you met these adorable little friends of yours.
I'm going to say in my mind,
Okay.
Greyson peek in as Yerving is talking.
And any detail that she skips, I want to put the detail into the story just to make it more authentic.
He's just out of range.
Damn it. Not that I would know that, but damn it.
He's just out of range. So you try to touch for it, but it's just not quite reaching.
Out of character. Fifi, why would you let everyone know that we were the ones that did that?
Out of character, I think Fox was trying to trigger something, so I was trying to trigger something also.
Fifi's helping, guys.
I'm trying to help.
Right, so there I was, just doing my shopping for the day, and then these thugs just pulled me into an alleyway, and she just goes into the story about how they were shaking her down, and then Janva so heroically came to her aid, along with her friends, and naming each and every one of you by name.
I'm going to look around to see if anyone is uneased by this or any other than just oh crap, oh no, you were startled and kidnapped, but additional stuff.
Davy's super excited about this story. He's just kind of taking his drink, and he's just like, oh yeah, that's my Fifi. So proud of her. Yuliy, you gotta work on your form.
Wow.
Roll me a d6.
Oh.
Does Eleanor know Greyson's last name?
No, I believe you have not given your last name.
Thank God.
1.
1 for that. The 1 is this.
1. Nice. So just 1 point. Got it.
Just 1.
Okay. Yeah. So subtract 1 point for you. Yuliy had flipped a blatant bird, and he's doing better than everyone else at the table.
Are you drinking by any chance?
I am just sitting there minding my own business. If Fox tells me to attack, I attack. You tell me to attack.
Ooh. Right, so she tells the story, names each and every one of you, and it's just and then they brought me back home, and I was safe, and then, oh my goodness, and then there was an incident this morning. I need to tell you about that. That was terrifying in itself.
And Janva looks kind of over at Ophelia like you had to say shit.
As she retells
I'm still
the
looking
story.
at anybody. I want to be if anyone flinches or kind of. If anyone feels uneasy, I just want to look at everyone's face, but kind of I'm just stuck.
Roll me insight.
But I'm just looking at your faces. Okay. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Let's see. Galvin looks very stoic as he's just passively listening. Occasionally he will look over at Janva. Zeneve is just in the thrill of the story. Eleanor, as she's retelling it. Nirnbane looks highly amused by this as he's just kicking his legs as he sits in his furbolg daddy's lap. Occasionally he will hold his hand up and then a wine appears and then he's just drinking his wine. And it's just oh my word, such a brute. How dare that individual dare harm a pretty little hair on your head. Truly, they got what was coming to them. As he takes a sip of his wine.
Can Janva roll insight on that comment?
Yeah, roll the insight.
Because I want to know if that was full of shit or not.
Yeah, roll it. Roll it.
That's a 19.
The look on his face, his posture, poise, the way he sips his wine, the eyes he gives when he sips that wine, bitch got what she deserved.
Oh my god.
So. And, Yeah, and so going down the line, the woman with her face concealed, you will never know what she's thinking or saying. Well, actually, Greyson would know what she's thinking if she was thinking anything. Which, Greyson, I'm going to say her base thoughts that she's giving off are they're almost mechanical, as in she's mostly focusing on what it is that she's supposed to be physically doing in this moment. And it's just, I'm picking up my fork, I'm cutting my meat, I'm taking a sip of wine, that kind of stuff.
Huh.
Whereas next to her, the other thoughts that are happening are, holy shit, they cut someone's head off in here? What the fuck? Where's the body? Where did it happen? How did they do it? What kind of sword did they use? Coming from the young tiefling.
Of course.
Yeah. I should actually roll performance for him. Oh, he's doing so good. Oh, performance. Yeah, okay. So 22 for performance. Very good.
Holy shit.
And he knows what he's doing. Which is just his thoughts and actions. Well, his actions don't reflect the inner giddy thoughts that he's having, and it's just almost like a little kid, just very excitedly, just listening in on the story, just like, oh my god, that's so wild. Wait, Greyson did what? As she finishes retelling that story, and it's just Galvin just very politely claps. And it's just like, oh, I'm very terribly sorry that such a thing happened to you. Luckily, you had such fine people to look after you, Miss Eleanor. And she's just like, thank you, I know. I'm very, very gracious and very lucky to be alive right now. And dinner goes on, as it does.
Janva's gonna kind of like sip at her wine and not be rude, but kind of call out to Eleanor, like, you did mention something about your cousin?
Oh yes, my cousin. And she looks a little troubled. Just like, I was told he'd be coming tonight, but I do hope everything's all right. And she just kind of, in a moment, she's just now thinking about it, and it's just like, that's odd. It's very odd.
Would it be weird that there's no spot for them at the table? Or is that just a thing that I noticed?
I was just thinking that too. I was like, wait, we're not missing a seat though.
I mean, it's also pre-drawn by another.
It's a pre-drawn map, so I'm just like,
I want to know if that was intentional or not.
no, it was not intentional.
Okay. Didn't
We will
mean to
say
call
for the sake of cosmetics, everyone would have been seated, and for those that were not seated, extra chairs would have been taken out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And
yeah. So,
I don't know, Janva would probably just mention something along the lines of, I don't know. I want to know how to say it without sounding rude.
I don't know, just in your moment, if you're deciding if you think you're going to be rude, just think to yourself, what would Fox do?
Well, she would put it, it's like, as, being above ground and stuff, for the past few years, I have met a few other Drow. What are their names? What is their name? Just out of curiosity.
Sorry. Let me grab that name real quick. I should have had that prepared. Oh, that would be my nephew, Sereth. Yes, he's freshly new out of the underground. Apparently, very. Yes, he's freshly new out of the underground. Apparently, very. 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 Very everything's such a wonder for him. I sent him some money when he got in contact with me, just, help him on his fate and all that.
Yeah, it is wondrous, the things that you can find above ground.
Like the sky, oh my god, I nearly dropped dead when I saw it.
Yeah, the stars are amazing. Janva's just going to put it like that.
Yeah.
I think with that, on that note, she'll probably list like some of the constellations and stuff like that she had learned over the years. And it's like, I apologize for going off on a tangent there. I was taught by the best.
Roll me an insight.
Nat 20, 24.
Woof.
There's a little bit of a side smirk from Galvin as he kind of turns to drink at his wine. So, dinner goes on. Eventually, it's concluded without much fiasco, and everybody gets up to return to meandering. Eleanor reminds everyone, it's just like, there's, you can meander here, there. I have a nice little setup in the garden if you want to just kind of hang around and little dance. And as she kind of, Nirenvain gets up, and you will see him offer his hand to her, and they will walk out together.
Okay.
As roll me, as everybody's kind of getting up to do their own thing. Roll me perception, everyone.
17.
17 as well.
Okay.
23 for Fox.
21 for Fifi.
Okay.
And
So-
Yuliy.
And Yuliy. As you will, as everybody's getting up, you see Nirenvain part with Eleanor as they walk out to head towards the gardens. The Furbolg that's been following Nirenvain hangs back a bit and then walks towards the wine cellar.
I'm gonna go up to Birdurai and tell him to stay behind 20 or so feet. If I see that. And I'm going to wait until there's a place that I can go where no one's watching me. And then I'm going to be shaped into a cat.
Alright, are you trying to do this stealthily?
Yeah.
Alright, roll me stealth.
I mean, I'll even go upstairs if I have to.
Alright, that's fair. As you would have to pass the guards to do that, but they know you by face now.
Yeah. The spell is +0, I believe. Yeah. So, 01.
01. You're not hard to miss.
Yeah.
Which,
But, I'll go upstairs, and then when I'm at a corner, if I don't see anybody, I'll be shaped into a cat and then go downstairs and trying to, if I see a bird, I'm gonna nod at him and then quickly follow the furball.
Alright. This is the cat. You see a cat trot along after the Furbolg. What would everyone else be doing?
Janva's going to kind of grit her teeth a little bit. Kind of psych herself up probably a little bit in the long run with this too, and she's going to go speak with Galvin.
Alright, so Janva's going to go and speak with Galvin. As he kind of starts to get up, his attendant kind of helps him to his feet as he is an old man. As he kind of shuffles a little bit and then notices you approach and he stops. You kind of see there's like a non-verbal kind of conversation between them. And he just kind of waves off the attendant. And the attendant gives you kind of a bit of a long look, Janva, before he steps to the side and just kind of waits in the doorway of the dining room. As Galvin just kind of clasps his hands together, and it's just like, you're certainly a long way from where you're supposed to be.
She'll nod.
Why? I think the more important question I should ask you is, why did you let them kill a worm speaker under this roof, when it has been your sole duty to protect said worm speaker?
So all the psyching up that Janva did to just kind of like get herself to go over and speak with him, that just crumbled.
As he looks at you, and there's no indication of any outward emotion on his face, but as he looks at you and your years of knowing him, there is just this, you know when there's like a bit of a disappointment on his face.
Yeah.
Just a shred, just a sliver. As he looks down at you, like physically looks down at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have an excuse.
And what of Ambrosen?
He was killed in Greenest.
That I know, but why did you let that happen?
Try to figure out how to do that. I think I'm finding myself moving, well, walking a different path.
I would say that you've always been an independent child, but then I would be lying to you. So I can't quite find a reason for such a sudden shift in you. I wouldn't say I'm surprised. Because knowing you and knowing how I've raised you, you've always had a different spark than the other two.
You're just gonna kind of mutter a little bit and just be like, "How is Chalice?"
She's you just missed her. She's heading back to the lodge. She's hoping to hear some good news soon. News that, since we are now standing on opposite sides, I am afraid I cannot tell you. Just, I hope you don't try to find more trouble than you can handle.
She'll just kind of shrug. It's like, I mean, you know me. It usually just comes running to me anyways.
It comes to you whether you ask for it or not, yes. I almost in a way I say you get that from me. And he'll just take a moment, just silently next to you. Have a good evening. And he'll just walk away. As you have known him to do many times.
Mm-hmm.
That when he is finished speaking to you, he is finished speaking to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is everyone else doing? As Fox, you are currently following the furball down the steps to the wine cellar.
That's
Less
correct.
sad.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, that's correct. Greyson, is there anything in particular you're doing?
I want to go talk to the tiefling.
Okay. As he is
I want to notice, does he have the family ring?
roll me perception.
15.
Yep, you will see the family ring.
Uh,
He is currently wearing the family ring, and he is currently also with the same Tataric crest on his armor as well. So I'll bring that image back up.
great.
Yeah, the same crest that is also on the ring as well. The sword through the gemstone.
Great.
As he's as he's currently helping up the woman that has been attending with him.
He's not going to say anything, but he's going to walk over and just kind of stand there. Like, oh.
How long does Detect Thoughts last?
It would have been done by now.
Oh, it would have been done. Okay. All right. Just making sure. Roll me an insight.
17 plus 4. Heck yeah.
Okay.
21.
You don't know why, and it's a little. You don't know why, but you approaching and just standing within the vicinity, and him noticing you standing in the vicinity, he's now a little bit more self-conscious of his actions as he's just kind of nervously looking at you, and then looking away, and then just making sure he's standing as straight as he can, and making sure his tail is tucked at the correct position, and just... yeah.
You can relax.
I mean, of course I can, but, you know... Sure.
Does he relax?
No. As he looks between you, and then he looks between the woman, and it's just very nervously. And then you will get a message mentally in your head saying,
Ooh.
I can't talk here, and you shouldn't be here. Mostly you shouldn't be here, but I can't talk here. At all, with her around. And then that's the message.
I can reply back to the message.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here. Can we meet somewhere to talk?
And just kind of looks around, and he looks to the lady, and he says, very not in a not in the way that you're in an etiquette sort of way, but just kind of looks at her in a very nervous tone. I need to go to the bathroom. Much like a little kid would ask permission.
Okay.
And there's just a moment where you can't see her face, but she's just staring at him just for just a second too long. Just like, really?
He's gotta pee.
As she just there's a silent. She doesn't say anything, but he just it's like as if he was given permission, and he walks out of the room. And as he's walking out, you get the message: "Meet me in the gardens."
Okay.
Okay.
I'll head that way.
Okay. Ophelia, Yuliy, anything in particular you're doing?
Did we see Narrowbane and Eleanor, I guess, leave and go to the garden? Or
It's 100% not hard to miss Narrowbane, so I will not have you do any perception checks on him. It is
He's like a
near
disco
impossible.
and be like, Yuliy, you want to go get some fresh air?
Yeah. So you would have seen Eleanor and Narrowbane leave, and then you would have seen the Furbolg also walk out in a different direction, as you've all noticed with your perception.
I want to follow Eleanor and Narrowbane.
Okay. As they're talking, and it's just like, oh, I just love what you did with this place. This is just a cute little house. It's so rustic.
So are they outside in the gardens or in there?
Yeah, they're currently walking and talking out to the gardens as you will be following.
I'm just gonna be like behind them so I can hear enough, but like maybe like point at the flowers so Yuliy be like, look at that one, and then I'll be like inch closer to Narrowbane and Eleanor and be like, look at the other one. Just like pretend I'm looking at flowers, but like we're eavesdropping. Eavesdropping.
All right. Roll me perception as you do that. Which I'm going to say mostly for picking up on their idle talk. It's about as superficial and boring as it could be.
That's fine. 13.
13. Okay.
I got a 15.
So you will notice. Yuliy will see this. Ophelia, you'll just miss it as you're pointing out a flower. Like, okay, look at that one. That one's pink over there. That one's white. That one's also pink. And as she's pointing out the flowers, Ophelia, you've been spending a little bit of some time doing that. Yuliy, you'll notice as he's politely leading her out by the hand. I gotta scoot everything over again. Oh my goodness. You'll see as he's walking her out by the hand, you'll see him kind of give her hand a bit of a squeeze, like a kind of like a forceful squeeze. As they continue talking just normally.
Like I'm still pointing flowers towards where they're going. So.
It's like you're so intent on listening to what they're saying, but also acting like you're not listening. So you're just pointing out flowers, but you will catch that hand squeeze.
I'm gonna start pointing out to
and there will be in like a second later, you'll hear the sound of plate armor as the tiefling walks out into the garden and just kind of looks around. Hello, there's a dog in the garden now. It's Fox is doing such a good job as a cat right now, guys.
Bark, bark.
Bark, bark, I'm a cat. Bark, stealth. As you hear the familiar clank of plate armor as the tiefling exits through the house and just kind of sidles over to the side in kind of like a blind spot and just stands there.
Oh, this is Zeve?
Yeah, Zevier, as you know him.
Okay. Are there any of Eleanor's, I guess, guards around us by any chance?
There are 2 guards right here towards where the water garden is. And I think that's it, what I have out here. Yeah, and then the rest is just people milling about.
Okay.
Let me get people in there. So, currently, conversation is very idle. Greyson, do you follow out?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just put you right here. No! Put you right there as a marker. Yuliy. Fifi. And I'll get the others in a sec. Okay. As Greyson, you walk out, roll me a perception check.
11.
11? I think he's easy enough to spot. He's red. against a bunch of grain. He was not meant for special ops, I'll tell you that.
You go plank.
Did he show up on here? There he is. It's hard to see on this. So as you go to approach him in the garden. As he looks to you, and there's just roll me an insight. Get everything ready.
12.
Oh, okay. He's nervous. Like anytime you're near him, he's there's like an air of nervousness and something else, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And it's just he looks to you and just very, very quietly, just, do you know who I am?
That's what I came to ask you.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. God damn it, why are you always so smart? Okay, so it's just there's just like that frustration, and it's like, okay, so you don't know who I am, obviously. That's great. That's great. Wonderful. Oh God, I fucked up.
Spit it out.
I can't. I can't spit it out. I feel like I'm gonna screw something else up if I spit it out. What do you? Okay, I'm just gonna throw it back at you. What do you remember? Anything?
What do you mean?
How long have you been hanging out here?
How long have I been hanging out here, DM?
Let's see. It's been what? About...
I want to say, because whenever I withdrew money, you said 3 weeks.
Would have been like about a month. I was
about a month, yeah.
I would say about a month.
I think.
Yeah, Greyson, you remember just up to this month.
Okay.
And that's it. Everything else, there's just a weird haze. And if you try to think on it, you get a really bad headache.
I relay that information.
It's just like... So... Okay. Then he just kind of looks around. And it's just like, so you don't know anything about, like, demi-planes. Greyson, you can roll me a history. Or no, would it be a history or arcana? I'd go arcana. Why not?
Well, they're both the same modifier, and I just rolled an 18.
Fair.
So
Knowledge planes would be arcana.
Okay, yeah. That's what I was thinking. I said history, and then my brain went, no, you mean arcana. Yeah, so you got a... What'd you get?
18. 23.
23? Of course you did, Greyson.
Silly.
Silly me. Why would I? Good, not God, he's proficient. You remember studying extensively about this in wizard school, in your little college. You remember there being lectures about wizards and beings that would go out of their way to just create an entire pocket dimension, just carve it out of space just for themselves, and it would just stay there unchanging unless they choose to unless they choose to do whatever they wish with it.
I know of demi-planes.
Have you ever built one yourself?
Not to my knowledge.
Which, as you think, and you're thinking about it, and there's a moment where you're just like, wait, maybe I do remember reading a little bit more than I thought I did. Go ahead and roll me a wisdom save.
Oh, shit, okay. 13. 17.
17? All right. And there's a moment where you're chasing the idea of it, and you feel the beginning of a headache happen, and so you just let it go, and you're like, okay, no. To your knowledge, no, you don't. You know it just at surface value.
I know of them. Doesn't explain who you are.
Okay. I figure at this point, it's going to be really stupid of me if I beat around the bush. Pop's always told me, never fucking beat around the bush, just beat the shit out of the bush. That's what he always said. He just kind of looks around, and he's really nervous. And there's like, almost, even though he's red, there's just a little bit of a pale color to his complexion. I don't know how else to say this, and you will 100% not believe me right now. But I'm your son.
Oh, okay. How old are you?
I'm 22.
First flaw in that logic.
Yeah,
Who
I
are
know.
you?
I just said.
You're not.
I am.
What am I supposed to take your word for?
As you kind of gesture in a way to try to prove your point, he's also doing the same thing.
Okay.
Like looking in the mirror.
I'm just supposed to believe you.
It would be nice if you did, but I know you're not going to. And that's why this makes... That's what I'm saying. That's why this is so fucking hard. Sorry. Language. I know.
I don't give a damn.
Look, okay, that stuff aside. This lady has something they want, and they're going to do whatever they can to get it. And this whole fucking charade that's going on is just a means to distract her while they go down into the basement to get it.
Back up. What? I don't care who you are right now. What are they getting?
I don't know. They don't tell me anything. I just hear conversation here and there. I'm not important enough. I'm just told where to go and where to swing my sword. This really sucks, and I hate... No, I'm not going to say you're right. I'm not going to say that. No. Fuck, I just said it. Shit. This place sucks. I want to go home. And I feel like I'm way over my head. I just wanted to meet our family, and I just now found out our family sucks, and they're working with some really bad people. But there's something down there, I don't know, it's like an item or something, and they need it. And they're going to go get it. And they're going to do whatever they can to get to it, and either we just let them do this quietly and no one gets hurt, or shit's going to get really bad.
Okay. We'll deal with the whole parental You know what? If I am your dad, listen to me. Get your ass down there, and we're going to rally the troops, and we're going to make sure they don't take this thing.
No, I'm not going to do that.
We'll figure this out later. Who are you with?
Roll me persuasion with advantage.
Oh, okay. 13.
13? Okay. It's enough. he wants to protest some more, but then you know, it's just, yes, okay, yes, sir. Yeah.
Who are you with?
That's the hard part. She's gonna come looking for me, and she always knows where I am. That's why I needed to do this really quick and tell you all this stuff, otherwise... Yeah.
How does she track you?
And he'll just kind of look down at his suit.
Am I aware of that? Like, what that is?
Yeah, roll me, No, yeah, you'd recognize it immediately.
Okay. Shit.
It's, it usually... It cuts off my magic whenever they want it to, and it's really painful. And I hate it.
I know.
And it's uncomfortable.
It sucks, I know.
I just want to go home.
We gotta get you out of the armor. Go back to her. Keep an eye on her. I need to get in a group.
Okay.
Hopefully something will happen to where you can break away and get yourself out of that.
Okay. So he will just kind of nods, looks a little bit dejectedly towards you, and he just moves forward and wraps his arms around you in a hug.
Don't do that. Stop it. Stop it.
So he holds it.
Stop it.
Holds it. And then he lets go.
Okay. If you do that again, I'm going to break your hand.
I know you can't.
Wow.
Love it.
Oh.
Love it.
Did he walk away?
He's walking away now.
Little shit. Okay. I'm going to immediately go find Fox.
All right. As I guess with your general perception of 10, you would have seen Fifi and Yuliy also hanging around in the gardens.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go grab them first, I guess.
All right. As Fifi, Yuliy, you will, as you were idly standing around enjoying the music. Fifi's enjoying the music. I don't know if Yuliy so much is.
He goes to say Fifi, and then he just goes, Yuliy.
Yuliy.
Yes. Yes.
Some drunkard who thinks he's my son says that something's about to go down.
How loud are you saying this?
Oh.
I say it loud enough in their vicinity. I'm not trying to get any attention.
Okay.
I'm not whispering it.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, no.
Let's go find Fox and the others.
All right.
Two.
So, as you head back inside, you'll run into Birdurai first, and it's just like, Fox told me to follow them. Oh.
On our way out, we're Nirvana and Eleanor still chit-chatting, and there's still guards everywhere, right?
They're still right here in the garden.
Okay, I just don't want to leave them alone together without anyone else
Stay
there.
with them.
Huh?
Stay with them.
Okay, I'm not done looking at these flowers.
He likes you, and we can't leave Eleanor alone.
Yeah. So, if Yuliy goes with you, I'm gonna actually have a conversation with them.
Okay.
Please
As
don't.
Yuliy, you start to go with them. Ophelia, as you approach them, Vane will turn to you almost readily, just like, "Oh, Fifi, darling, come here. I need to speak with you." As
I'm like, my ears are all yours.
Yuliy, you
With
follow
ears
Greyson.
and all.
Ears and all. thin ears. As you follow Greyson in, you run into Birdurai, and then walking back into the estate. Janva, where will you be in this moment?
She probably would have been walking by the gardens again. Less sad.
Right. Less sad.
Well,
all right, well, you'll bump into them then.
Yeah.
Oh. Something going down. We're needed to find.
As he unsheathes his sword.
Yeah.
Pull.
I saw him go upstairs, and then he came downstairs as a cat. He's not very sneaky.
I'll channel him real fast.
I love it. I love it.
Perfect.
So much.
Perfect. It's like he's here. Oh, we missed you, Jeremiah.
He'll probably be like
Oh,
hovering
he's
above
100%
the floor.
hovering above the floor just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Right. So, Greyson, you give the general idea to everyone about what's going down?
Yes.
All right.
So we should go to... Well, did anybody see where the...
You all saw where the Furbolg went with your perception.
Okay, well...
All saw he went down into the basement.
Okay. Shall we?
Yes? We're all in agreement going into the basement? That is a reluctant yes from the party for all of our listeners.
I mean, I'm already there-ish. So like, Fox.
You're already there. So roll me
already...
perception, Fox. You're down there.
Mm-hmm.
As you follow the Furbolg down, as he takes long striding footsteps into the cellar, you see him start poking around through the barrels, kind of knocking on a few, listening.
Oh.
Knocking on the wands on the wall, and then you suddenly hear the one he thumps, and it's hollow. And then he just kind of feels at it, and then you hear a click as it pushes, the face of it pushes in, and it opens up, and he reaches in, and you see him pull out a box that's about yay big-ish. Easy enough to hold in your hands.
Question: how big is the entrance into the cellar? It's like just like only one medium creature can come through.
Yeah, about one medium creature can come through at a time.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just observing.
All right. As he pulls out the box, kind of flicks it open, looks inside, and then he just closes it again, and kind of reaching into his jacket pocket, he pulls out what seems to be a lock, and he locks the latch on the box as he tucks it under his arm and starts to make his way towards the stairs.
If he does that,
All right.
I am going to unbe shape into my turtle form and stand crossed arms. Unfucking lock it.
And he'll just look at you, completely unimpressed. No.
Alright, I'm
I'm
gonna
not-
shape into a moose and charge him.
Okay.
Because a moose is big enough to block his entry, so I'm gonna be shaping into
Correct. Okay.
that. So yeah, I'm be shaping into a moose and I'm charging. And
Okay,
as I'm doing
sure
so,
thing.
I'm going to scream as hollow as a moose can scream, and that high squeak that they do, that sounds kind of like a straw.
I love that. Go ahead and roll me for an attack.
Okay. That would be a 17, and if I hit, he needs to make a strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay. I'm gonna take a picture of this so you know that I just rolled a natural 20.
Okay, cool. He's not knocked prone.
No.
But I assume that means he hits because he rolled, and if so, that means I rolled 5 plus 3, so that's 8 points of bludgeoning damage from my
Okay.
my moosey horns.
For your moosey horns. Sure. So that was how many points of bludgeoning?
5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Yeah, And since he's not prone, I'm just going to just use my entire horns as a kind of like a
cage,
a barrier to like.
All right. Go ahead and because he's going to try to push back on your horns. If you can roll me a strength save on that.
Oh yeah, let's do this.
I love how it's the one dice.
That would be 18.
18. All right. So you feel because furbolgs are very big, so you feel the natural resistance that you would get from a furbolg trying to push back on you, but you dig your hooves into the stone and you were just holding firm.
Okay.
As you're holding them down, and there's furbolgs. Roll me nature.
Nature.
Yeah, roll me nature. We'll call it a nature check.
I have a 13.
13.
Yes.
Furbolgs. Would you say that Fox has ever encountered furbolgs before?
If he has, he might have forgotten. There's a lot of things that he has forgotten.
Oh man. All right, that's fair. So furbolgs, as you've heard of them, they tend to. You've never heard of a furbolg, being so aggressive in a way. I guess aggressive in a malicious way. Furbolgs naturally are peaceful beings and very respectful of nature. But as you are holding this furbolg down, there's like almost a glint of excitement in his eyes as it's like, oh, so you're daring to do this. Okay, I'm gonna make sure you hurt.
Bring it on, bitch.
As he looks, as he
I
looks
say in my mind.
But it comes out in a moose whine.
Yeah.
As moose do.
As mooses do.
As mooses do.
Yeah. Oh, just DM, just so you know, I am using the elk stat since, but because
cosmetically
of the animals that Fox has seen, he would only see things that are near rivers or wetlands or stuff like that. Thus, I'm saying moose. If you're okay with that, RP.
No, that's totally fine. Yeah. So stats for one, but cosmetically a moose.
Yes.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. So, as he kind of bears down in your horns, but you're holding firm, and it's just, oh, I think I've heard about you. Yeah, that's right. You're
the dick.
You're the one that ripped Resmir's head off. Cute. I'd like to see you try to rip the head off a green fucking dragon. And as you're all filing down into the basement, that's where we're gonna end it for tonight.
Oh, I hope I'm really fighting a dragon. Oh, we're not gonna fit in this room. Let's bring it on.
Should have just stayed upstairs.
Yuliy.
That's
such a Yuliy thing.
So guys, thank you for watching. Fox might be fighting a dragon in 2 weeks.
So excited. I'm very excited.
He's first dragon. Yeah, so thank you for watching. This will be edited and put on our YouTube page and also on Spotify. So keep a lookout as we are always constantly updating. And we will see you all again in 2-ish weeks.
Yeah.
Next year.
Happy New Year, guys!
Oh, it'll be so exciting. Hopefully.
We have so many fun things planned for the new year.
I think. What's his face will be back by then.
Poe?
Jeremiah should be back by then.
Jeremiah will be back. That's right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because we will be playing again. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, on the 13th we will be.
Yeah, he comes back
Right.
this Friday.
So we are ending the year on a very exciting note in this game.
I really hope that they're not lying to me and they are a green dragon. I really hope that's true.
Can I meta for you?
I mean, you can.
But we're
It's a green dragon.
We're only level 4, guys.
Yeah,
That's
no.
fine.
Woo! It's fine. I have everything calculated perfectly now.
Again, we're still level 4.
I mean, I had to take precautions because you like to behead very big people, so here's a dragon.
Yeah. When you move the fights faster, the DM tends to put more things at you. Because they're like, oh, you can take this on. Sure, let me bring something else next to you.
Oh,
All right,
God.
let's try this next.
Let's try Green Dragon. Oh, foxes. Yes.
Fox is excited.
Fox's yes or Jesus is yes?
Well, Jesus is nervous as shit. Because he likes Fox. That's a Green Dragon. Fox is like, alright, you've noticed. Good.
Oh, you're the green dragon, and you're in a enclosed space.
I don't. Because I have so many attack spells. No, I have all defensive and precaution spells. I am so not prepared for this fight. But I am a moose.
You are a moose, and that's how we will end this new year. I am a moose.
I am a moose.
Guys, we started this game with hashtag I'm a horse, and now we're ending it with hashtag I'm a moose.
Yes.
All right. I guess that's the name of the game now. I'll write it down.
Hashtag I
am a moose.
Oh, fuck. Hey, hoofed animal, another hoofed animal. Both large vegetarian, long striving animals.